Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft for what is live stream number 73 as we continue through the game and its DLCs. Good morning, hope your week is going well. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on from the previous stream. Now, in the last stream, we finished the first of the two DLC maps and we began Summer Drought, which is the second one. We didn't get very much time. I think we had like half an hour from when we actually got started from after finishing Autumn Collapse. And we managed to destroy a building. And I think that was about it. We were setting up. There's a big road that needs building in our first thing. But yeah, we didn't get that much time to have a look at the second map. But today we continue on, and we'll see how we get on today. Hopefully we can get a decent amount done. Obviously we know we're near finishing it today, but we can get a decent amount done hopefully. Massive thank you to those that watched the channel update. Very much appreciated. Any suggestions for what you want me to add into it? I know we started giving out revenue and stuff like that. If anyone has any ideas of what they want added in, information wise, then do let me know. More than happy to add more stuff in as well. We have had an update yesterday for RoadCraft, as you can see on the screen. We'll go through in a second once I've done all my usual stuff. Why is he doing that? Okay. I'm trying to do too many things at once because my little boy's messaging me, says at school, and I got confused what I was doing. And yeah, morning and a half. It is very, very hot again this morning here. So bear with me if I need to keep stopping to have a drink and stuff. But yeah, it's not fun at the minute. Not for me anyway. It's not as unbearable as it was last week. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of heat. In all honesty. I will add in a link to the channel update for those who haven't watched it into the chat in a second as well. Obviously, I know that takes away from watching the stream, but I'll put it in just in case we haven't seen it. And yeah, hopefully we can get quite a bit done today and move on with the second of the DLC maps. I did say in the channel update as well, when we do finish RoadCraft's DLC, there is more DLC coming later this year, but we'll go back to Expeditions and Mud Runner game in the meantime. That is the plan after finishing the DLC. Right, let me just chuck this in the chat, and then we'll have a quick look through the update, see what it says. I know what it's kind of saying. Is that going to be... Yeah, cool. I wasn't sure if the link would work. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the update. Most of this is about modding vehicles, so now you can mod vehicles. Mod editor scene, a dedicated tool for RoadCraft that allows players to create their own custom levels. Truck modding, a special new tool that enables the creation of custom vehicles for RoadCraft. Now, I've never been one for modding. I like to play the game as vanilla as possible, and then maybe look at deals to look at modded stuff after completing the game as a vanilla version. So maybe that's something we'll look at in the future. I'm not that worried. We'll see if there's anything new coming up. It may increase the amount of people making maps, maybe, but we'll see. That'll be done. We'll look at that after we finish the DLC at least. Updated Rich Presence feature for Reclaim DLC maps. I don't know what Rich Presence is. That was updated. Ghost Buildings is a fix. Most of the fixes, it says, we haven't had any issues with, to be fair. Oh, they've rebalanced crawler pack vehicles, so you can't purchase them at level 1 progression anymore. That's interesting. So they made them you have to be slightly further in the game, I think. Stability, we haven't had any crashes, so that's not an issue. Leaf trees, no. Sound, not fast. Oh, the sound was one thing, actually. There was sound, some vehicles would make no sound after a while, wouldn't they? Improved performance on road planning. Yeah, most of the stuff they add in and fix, I've never actually seen or had an issue with, to be fair. But there we go. That's the update that came yesterday. As I say, it was expected. They'd already said they were doing it. And the modding is a different side of things we may have a look at after. We did look at modded maps when we finished the last DLC, and there wasn't much to go from. But we may have another look maybe afterwards. We are 7% complete on Summer Drought. We started this in the last stream. We've done 0 of 15 infrastructure requests. We've not done the main objective, and we've done 2 of 26 side objectives. As you see from the map, a lot more to discover. Let's say we got about half an hour, I think, on the map in the last stream when we finished the first DLC map. I really want us to get back to 4 days of streams so we get 2 streams instead of just one, because it's frustrating. I'm not really making the progress as I like because only having one stream. But I've got to obviously weigh that up against other things, and we're losing Fridays currently for this course. It's a bit difficult to fit things in and actually still not push myself out too far, which I'm learning slowly. Normally I wouldn't bother me, I'd just do it, but I have learned that it's not a good thing to be screwing myself over every time. Right, we'll let everything load in for a second. I think that's done. So we're still doing it. We finished the stream last time by wrecking one of the buildings here. We gained some resources from it, some stuff cycle. It was just something to finish off. We're finishing off the stream by doing something. We also got a mobile scalper out. We wanted to see if we could use that anywhere, and it kind of seems like because it's quite a sandy region, the mobile scalper is very useful. There's a bridge there. I've not seen that to us now. We haven't had a proper look around yet because we haven't really had a chance to, although that looks blocked out that way. That's something we'll need to deal with. It does look like a really interesting map, this one. It's just going to be, we're just going to go and explore a bit more and make some progress. So, main mission, repair the pumping station to help the locals get through the drought season. Now, that mission is down here, which we haven't gone to yet. Side mission, construct a road for future convoys and deliver concrete resources with a cargo convoy. So my thinking is we want to do the road first and foremost, because then we can set that off and then we can travel south. That way we're getting resources come through. So this is what the mission we're going to do. Now this requires us to build a road. And we've built roads many a time. You know, it's not rocket science. The issue we have is sand. So this is the route it wants it to take. Now my only concern is this whole route is not brilliant. So do we do a road all the way, which is going to be a very long, big road, including the bit it wants us to do? Because if we're sending convoys this way, they need to be able to get to where they need to get to. Thanks for the live expression, there was. And the issue we have, if we don't do a big enough road, they won't get to where they need to go. That's my big concern. The plot route, if we have a look at it, this will give us 6 concrete slabs. It's from the Northwest Tunnel to our town base, our first fob. So my thinking is we need to actually start this road here. We can follow the actual road it has. Already kind of, it's in the sand, you can see bits of it. We can follow that to a degree to this junction. We can make this road here, but then we want to extend this up and over. I think we need to make the road fully. Otherwise, there is a chance the convoys will get stuck, and we don't want to risk convoys getting stuck if we can avoid it. So this would be a bigger road than first intended, but I think it's the best way of making sure vehicles get to where we want them to go to. My only concern is how we come out of here and which way we go from there. Good morning, Jake, man. How are you today? Hope you're well. I think if I didn't say it, thanks for the like, followers, much appreciated. So if we leave the town base here, there's a bit of a road going this way. Then we've now got stuff in the way of it. Trying to see where that actually meets up, because all this is really uneven. I think we possibly could come down here and this way, because we've got to get to this junction over here. Just trying to see the best route. Maybe this way and follow this that way. Whatever we decide, we can plan it now anyway, because we're going to be doing this road first and foremost. But yeah, I want to make the road fully all the way from our garage to the Northwest Tunnel, just to be sure we're not going to get anyone stuck, because we don't know what vehicles they're using. So my thinking is mobile scalper is going to be needed for the sand. Obviously there is a quarry over there, but it doesn't give us much. If we go there, only gives us that. So mobile scalper is going to be very important here. Which will be good, because it's the first time we're really utilising it as much as we should. My only concern is, where are we doing this? So obviously we can come out from here, come round here and down, I think. And then down here maybe, and then follow this, and then down there. Because all these little tracks and roads and stuff don't kind of work, they don't kind of join, which is really weird. Let's jump in the scalper first and foremost, because we do need to move this out of the way, if we think that's where we're going. I don't know how I'm going to mark up where I think we should put the road, to be fair. Obviously this needs to be able to be used but out of the way that it's not going to... I think that'll be fine there actually. That's... There we go. So obviously we need a vehicle that can drop sand down. So we need to get one of our dozers out for that. Let's go to road stuff, makes it a bit easier to find them. We have got the Wayfarer, which does hold, I think that holds the most amount of all the... That's 40 tons. Let's have a look at the others. The boat, that's only 20 ton. I know that's less. But that obviously has tracks, so left side gets stuck. That's really small. That's 5 ton capacity. It's pointless. And then we've got the Tigers, 10. And the Bacow, which is normally our go-to, is 40 ton as well. I think the Bacow, I don't think there's one yet that can beat the Bacow. Let's double check there isn't a new one we've kind of forgotten about. I don't think there is. No. The Arrowhead is better for, obviously, conditions. Yeah, I realised that that's probably the case actually in the last stream we started here. It's quite nice to be able to use it because we've not really used it that much. So it seemed to be a bit of a wasted vehicle. So actually to have a map where it's needed quite a bit is actually really good. Yeah, I like the bowhead, but it just doesn't have enough capacity. That's the only issue. And I wanted to use this as the Wayfarer, but the problem being, it's not very good. I think we stick to the Bacows, the trusty ones. I think that's their best bet. I want to use something different, but knowing that the others aren't very good, it kind of defeats the point. Trying something different. Okay, so my thinking is we build a road from here fully all the way to the thing, incorporating where it wants us to build a road to. Although this is quite solid, do we need a... I still want to build a road, I think. It is quite solid. It looks really sandy, but I think it is fairly solid. But we'll start here, I think, as a starting point at the very least. I'm not very good at doing roads. I tend to not tip the right amount when needed. Is my biggest issue. I always feel like I don't put enough down, or I put too much in some places. Okay. It's a decent start. As I say, I struggle a little bit with putting the sand down. So my thinking is we come round here, we can roughly follow the line. Round here, and we're coming down onto this kind of road here. Or the outline of the track that we can see. That's my thinking to start. How far are we to where I just did the last bit of sand? So there, we're okay. As I say, I struggle massively with trying to put an even amount down. But yeah, I think extending this is the safest option for us to make sure the convoy makes it with any real issues. We probably could get away without doing this, but I kind of think long term it's in their best interest. I just broke the scalper. Yeah. So the arm is kind of in my way to where I was. All I'm going to have to do, I'm going to move forward. Put the scalper back running again. I might have to put the arm in to start with. So we'll put the arm in just to put the sand down. And then we can put it back out. It's just for the starting bit really. We'll need to move it shortly anyway when we're out of range. But yeah, it's going to be a constant quick check to exactly which route we're taking. As I say, it's making sure you get some good ones now. The most there it's only 20 ton of capacity compared to these that are 40. Yeah, they've just added vehicle mods to the PlayStation in the recent update that came out yesterday. There's a lot more mods now. So I don't know whether that's going to encourage people to do more with them, because they've supposedly made it easier to mod vehicles and maps. How well that goes in reality, I don't know, but that's what the update was for. But yeah, PlayStation just is lacking a decent modding scene, it seems. It's not something that bothers me so much. It's not something I generally look at too much. Try and do things vanilla. At least it's the very first time doing things. I say, it still seems there's some in there, but it wasn't putting it out. There we go. Oh, I'm not reactivating the scalper. There we go. But see, when we're out of range of the scalper, we'll move it. Fixes for the dumpers. Yeah. As I say, they've added a load of new stuff yesterday to enable modding to be better, modded vehicles especially. I'm not that worried. I don't mind using the base stuff. As I say, I like to play things vanilla anyway, at least for the first time. Saying that though, I played Farming Simulator, and the amount of mods for that is insane. Some of them not brilliant because they will make things a bit unrealistic, but others also make it more realistic, which is incredible. It is amazing what people that do mods can do, and are willing to do time-wise as well. I can imagine the mods for this on PC are insane, like maps-wise and stuff. There's probably so much you can do to make new maps and things. Right, we want to follow this around to the right here. There is an abandoned building there. We just need to make sure we get into here. So, kind of comes round here, doesn't it? So if we come this way, follow the track a little bit, keep going straight, and then we want to come down this way. You bought 4 scalpels for this map. First one to make things easy. I can imagine, to be fair. Yeah, I can imagine that having quite a few skills. It saves you moving them all the time, doesn't it? That's the only thing. You've got to keep moving them, I can imagine it getting a bit annoying. But we'll see how we go. See the sand, the rocks coming out through the sand there. It's just nice to be able to utilise the scalper more. Like I say, it's one of these vehicles we've had for a while that we've not really used that much. It's kind of seemed like a bit of a waste of a vehicle. To actually have a proper use for it is actually really good, I think. To finally have a use. Right, down here, and then we're turning right here. We will set the AI to do the bit of the road that we need to do, just to save me time, and we can start leveling this out. So once we do get our road bit to here, we'll set the AI off over here to do all the way it can. We'll have to add in the last part. I would say, because it won't do the whole thing. But it'll just make our life a little bit easier and quicker. Right, we want to head down here, and just past that building we want to take a right. I don't think this will be the only road we build. Based on what you're saying, Jake Man, as well, I can imagine us building a lot of roads. I don't mind building roads though. I think they're good fun to do. I find them fun. I know I've seen a few people that have said they don't bother. So I was chatting to a few people that play this themselves, and they were saying that I build a lot more roads than they do. A lot of the time they don't bother building roads. They might just put some sand down and leave it. It was a pain moving them, was it? Oh yeah, I can imagine it would be. We'll see how we go. It may get to a point we decide we need more than one. If it does get that annoying, maybe something we do need to think about. For the minute, I think one's okay. We'll see. But yeah, someone was saying to me the other day, they just don't bother with roads. On most of the maps we put roads, they've not bothered. They've just put sand down on occasion, or just left it. But then they'll push, and we've done it a couple of times, but they'll push the convoy themselves if need be, to get them through any issues and obstacles. Well, we've done it once or twice because it was frustrating, but other than that, I'd rather they do it themselves, because we can be off doing other things. That's the thing. Let's say we'll get the AI to do the main bit of the road, the actual mission side of it. I'm thinking this will be very similar to the other DLC map, where we're going to have to find missions as well. We haven't got all the missions currently. You can't believe you have mods but full hard mode. Oh right, nice. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan, to be fair. When you say full hard mode, what are you going? Full damage, fuel, all that kind of good stuff they've added in? If they'd had fuel and damage on when we started, we'd have had it on from the start. Because I like the realism side of things. The problem is they didn't add it in till we were basically finished the base game, and the only way to add it in was to restart. Which is a bit of a shame, really. As I say, I would have had it right from the get-go otherwise. But I'm glad they added it in at some point. It's just a shame we didn't get to utilise it. That scalper's range is actually quite big by the looks of things. Let's just see how big it is. Okay, we are going to come to the end of it. So where we get to the junction is when we're going to need to move the scalper. Probably along here somewhere. Obviously it's going to need to cover the road bit. So we'll have to work that out as well in due course. But yeah, if we head through here, there's a bit of a track here. The junction that we're looking at is here. And I've got a feeling we'll probably have to add to this road as we go. I forgot actually the start of the road's here. I didn't realise it was here, to be fair. I thought it was further on. But that's the start of the road over here. I'm on someone's property, I think, now. It's kind of, yeah, there's a little bit of paving there. I think we've kind of gone over someone's bit of front garden. There is a little bit, we'll have to see how we like levels out. There's a little bit there, you can see we messed up a little bit there. E-Flag, good morning, how are you? Cost for items are tough. Oh, the cost for items are more expensive, are they? I didn't think of that being a thing. To be fair, we don't generally buy anything though, so that wouldn't affect me too much. I've not really bought anything. I think we bought one slab once, and that was it, just because we couldn't find any more concrete to recycle, but I think that's about it. Sore throat, that's a shame. It's just something, summer colds though, it's one of those things everyone gets, isn't it? But yeah, they are annoying sore throats, so. Hay fever's the worst. I'm not too bad, thank you, not too bad. Having some rough sleep at the minute, but there we go. Other than that, I'm alright. Right, we need to move the scalper we knew was coming close. To be fair. So we just needed to cover this road. So we're going to want it roughly here, I think. Looking at that. And that should cover the whole road. Would be my thinking. So let's jump to the scalper. And move it. Now, I kind of don't want to follow the road we've just done because the sand will be in our way, but actually we want to go that way anyway. We may just have to see if we can get over the sand. Just be careful not to get ourselves beached on it is the only thing. Cut through here. So I didn't mean to hit the tree, but that'll do. Check out, that'll go down. Yeah, just try not to get beached on anything. Or stuck. We're caught on the pylon there. Didn't allow for the width of the trailer, to be fair. You can see the deformation of the sand beneath us, though. I think doing a road is definitely a good idea here. We could have just done the basic when he wanted us to, but I think we would end up struggling with the convoy. Plus, it'll make everything easier for ourselves as well. And we can just add on to this road every time. But yeah, I've got a feeling maybe more scalpers will be needed the way this is looking. I keep forgetting how wide it is at the back, because the back is wider obviously than the front. And I keep forgetting to allow for that when we're going anywhere. There we go. I could have just moved this out and actually driven on it, and that probably would have been the better idea, to be fair. Maybe that's what we should have done. Next time, maybe level that out first, then drive on it. Save us this hassle of trying to go next to it. Okay. So we're going to do this roughly about halfway along where it wants us to build this road, because that way it should give us the best coverage. And then once the sand's been put down by the arrow, we will extend it nearer the tunnel ourselves anyway. So roughly halfway, I think, is where we need to go. As I say, it's just nice to use this more. Thank you for the like, but much appreciated. This is all quite solid, this road here, but it wants us to build on anyway, so we're going to do it. But it is a fairly solid piece, to be honest. Right, we're just about covering. We can go further forward, to be fair. We just need to find a nice bit of sandy ground. Probably to our right here, actually. Will this count? It's knowing what's going to count, that's the question. No. Doesn't like that bit. I don't know if it's too rocky, maybe. Yeah, it's not liking this. I think maybe further up the hill a little bit. I know it's a bit of a rocky climb. That does look more pure sand. It's not turning right. I was trying to go further up, but it won't turn the way I want it to. Ah, I beat myself on a rock. See the rock at the front? I think that's now causing me a problem. Because the front wheels are off the floor. That's annoying. Okay, let's quickly grab... We haven't got a scout vehicle nearby. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? This was the new Carolean with the blade. The new scout vehicle that came with the most recent pack. Maybe should have come up here for the sand location, to be fair. We just got to find a place where there's a lot more sand, because obviously at the minute it's not allowing us to put the scalper down. Okay, my thinking was to come down here. What's my thinking? Although that looks a more treacherous than I thought it was going to be. Considering how sandy it is and lack of water, we look very muddy, like wet mud as well. Surely that shouldn't be looking wet muddy, it should be more dry mud. Right, we can have it come down here, I think. It's going to be steep. It should be controllable. Say that. Yeah, I think it will be, actually. There's a scalper. You can see the bit of sand I was thinking about just over here. That's where I was thinking of trying to get the scalper to. Obviously the rocks aren't very helpful. Yeah, I don't think it should have wet mud on it the way it is. It should be more... more dry mud, really. There we go, towing on. Just going to bring this up. We can get over the rocks, that is. Come on. A lot of rocks there. There we go. Come on, a bit more. Going the traction myself, to be fair. I'm just going to let myself roll back, okay. Got to get over that hump of rocks if we can. It is moving, ever so slightly. There we go. We stop there for a minute and attach the winch, swap vehicle. Can we scout from there? We can indeed. Okay, scout is active, and that will cover the whole area we need it to. The whole road. That's all we're trying to do, is get to an area where it would allow us to activate the scalper. There's going to be a bit of that, I think, finding the right location with the scalper a bit of the time. There will be a bit of that going on. Right, we are going to need to add to this road here, because this will start off in a different place. So if we'll get the AI to do this bit, and then we'll join it via the sand. We'll just go and get our other vehicles out in the meantime. So once that's refilled, we'll set this off, and then we'll go and grab everything else. We could do the whole thing ourselves, this bit of main road it wants us to do, but the reason we're not is because it gives us a chance to do other things. So pressing the section, select the route. AI is off and running. Okay, we're going to jump back into the garage and grab our trusty Vostok Pioneer. Is the no? Is it? No. Hang on. Which one do we normally use? I think it's the Pioneer, actually, isn't it? Conan works the base game one. I'm now doubting myself. That's going to be too small, I think. That's a 4-meter width. It is the Vostok Pioneer. 5-meter width. As I said, there's no other ones to have. Yeah, that's the one. I don't know why I doubted it, but I did. I kind of thought, it doesn't seem. Well, that is the right one. So this is the one you get later on in the game, and it does the best. It's the widest width to spread out the sand. I don't know why I was doubting it for some reason. It doesn't look right. Am I being silly? It might be that we've not done this for a while, but I feel like we're missing something here. Why are these flashing? What am I missing? Because it seems I don't understand why these are flashing. We've already got all of them. That's the Pioneer there. I feel like I'm missing something because I keep it's an unlock symbol. This is the right vehicle. I don't know why I'm thinking it's something else. It is the right vehicle though. On the last map, we actually did our first ever asphalt destruction. We've never done it through the whole base game or anything until the previous DLC map, Autumn Collapse. Mainly because we've always planned ahead, so we've never had to put wires or anything underneath where we built roads. But we kind of got a mission quite late on after we built a road, and to make that work, we had to take up some roads and put an electricity cable down. It's the first ever time we've used the asphalt destruction, and it's quite weird seeing it happen. It's quite realistic how it breaks up bits of the asphalt. I really liked it, to be fair. More the realism side of it is what I liked. Sounds weird saying you like destroying asphalt, but no. It's more the fact that the way it breaks it up makes it look really cool. I think that's one big thing this game does really well, is the way things move and the realism you get from that. A lot of these rocks showed up after you put the sand down. May have to come back just to get rid of some of these rocks in a minute. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of road building, I would say, by the looks of this, just to make our life easier. Obviously, you don't have to do all these roads. There are other ways to do it, but we're rebuilding and helping a town. We might as well do it properly and make sure we do everything 100% as we always have done with the game itself. I'm going to stop doing that now. But yeah, there's a few rocks coming up from where we put sand down that weren't here originally. See, we're getting caught on them ourselves. Yeah, there's a rock. These rocks weren't here a minute ago. The thing is, we're going to move the sand when we try and move them, aren't we? But yeah, this is going to be quite a big road by the end of it. The convoy's going to come 6 times in total. If we've got 6 concrete slabs as rewards. That is 6 times it's going to use the roof. And then we've got to do some exploring and find more missions afterwards and get to this area where the main mission is going to be. I think it's going to be very similar to the first of the 2 maps, where there's a lot to do, but you can't do the main mission until you've done a lot of the other side stuff to enable you to have the facilities to do what you need to do. That would be my kind of assumption, the way things look at the minute. Let's take a look at that house's front garden. I think that's one of the buildings we can demolish there as well, to be fair. Right, what I need to do here is change mode to marching, but what we need to do quickly is get rid of some of these rocks. See them there. I want to be, if I go, we're going to have to do sand. I don't trust myself enough to do the manual blades. I think I'm just going to make mounds into the bit where we're building the road. So we keep with sand leveling. The blade should be low enough anyway. We know full well our asphalt layer will get stuck on these rocks if we're not careful. That's the thing. I think it looks okay though. There's some over here to deal with. Yeah, I think we'll end up adding to this road, especially like going that way in due course as well. There's more around here. We can widen this kind of junction anyway, make life a little bit easier. That's my only concern, is making the road uneven more. Okay, so let's get rid of this one here. Okay, I think we're good for the rocks now then. So let's go back to where the start of that road was and see how the AI is getting on. And then we'll need to bring the dumper back to fill in the gap between the 2 bits of road. The only thing we'll be aware of, when the road completes, I think it will leave a gap. That's my only concern. So the start point for this road is here. We've got this bit to join. I wonder if we need to build the road first and then join to it afterwards, because sometimes, or most of the time, when you do a road that's a mission road, it doesn't join to what you make, because it will finish things for you when it gets to a certain point. Especially when the asphalt comes into play. So I wonder if we should do the road first and then do the joins after, just so there's not a gap or anything. I think that's the better way of doing it, just to avoid any issues more than anything else. So we may as well, we can lay this, we can start spreading this now, because that's already been done by the AI. I'm on marching, I'm not on actual sanding, am I? But yeah, I think we do the road itself, then add to it afterwards, or join it afterwards. We can still do the bit of road we've done, we can still asphalt the bit we've done, but we'll need to join. Because I think the AI, well not the AI, the actual mission when it completes, you'll see the separation and things. And I don't want to leave a big hole or a gap. How is it though, when the AI lays the sand down, there's no rocks on it, and we laid it down, all the rocks are coming up from underneath? How does that work? But this will be, I think we've done a couple of missions. We did 2 of the missions when we first arrived here. One was finding the fob, and I don't know what the second was, to be fair. Oh, I think that was the one where we got the antenna found. where our scout vehicle was. I think that was the second mission we did. But yeah, the Baikal dumper is definitely the only one really that works with the amount you can carry. I wanted the bowhead to be better than it is. It had more of a capacity. We'll probably use the bowhead more. Because it's got tracks, you can use it in most conditions. Although the Baikal has done really well in all conditions. But yeah, the bowhead just isn't quite good enough to use just because of how little it can carry. That's the thing. Right, we're going to join this obviously to the tunnel, so we may as well do the sand while we're here, and then like I say, we'll do the joins afterwards. So we've got to follow this route up here. We can kind of follow the road, to be fair. Let's see whether, just make sure we are safe following the road and we don't need to make a different path. But it kind of goes up here through these rocky areas here, and then I think we need to come down here. So we're trying to get to there. I'm just trying to see where... Oh no, we can probably go straight across actually and come that way. Yeah, I think we can come that way. So we'll lay the sand down for that while we're here now. But we'll start just outside this yellow box and then we'll join afterwards. May need to move the scalper again depending on how far it does actually come out. We'll know more once we get this first bit done. See all the rocks here though, they're all going to come up. I do prefer the AI doing the sanding just because I'm not very good at doing it evenly. Luckily when you level it, it kind of levels it evenly anyway for you. It'll make life a little bit easier. Right, we'll go as far as we can where the scalper is now, and if we have to move it, we have to move it. So we go into the lamppost, past there. Is this bit of rubble here we just got to get through, I think. As I say, this is all to make it easier for the convoy, but us as well long term. And there used to be a road here, so we're only replacing the road that's kind of been eroded over time. I saw the rocks coming up as well. Do you get more rocks, I wonder, if you're using the scalper to refill instead of using a quarry? Because we are getting an excessive amount of rocks, and as we've not used the scalper that often, I do wonder whether scalper sand has more rocks in it. It may have no effect, but it does seem like we're getting a lot more rocks than normal. Right, we need to follow this round. There is a bit of a curve here. This is trying to follow the road that's already here to a degree. It never feels like you're laying that much down or making much distance every time you do this. It's quite deceiving, I think, how far you go without realising when you actually are laying the sand down. You can see the tunnel ahead, that's what we're aiming for. And then we'll just have to do the joins, as I say, afterwards. So we'll get, once the convoy's up and running, when it fully completes, we'll get 6 lots of concrete slabs on it, so that will be handy. There's obviously going to be a mission sooner rather than later that we're going to need to do with that. Right, there's no quarry nearby, is there? No, we're just outside the radius of the scalper here, so we do need to move it more left. We don't have much to do, it's just making sure we can do it. I think if we drive to here, that should be okay. Definitely see now why you said, Jake, man, you had more than one scalper. Definitely makes sense. It probably is something we're going to need to look at in due course. the minute it's not horrendous. It's annoying, but it's not that bad. Yeah, I can see as the map gets wider and there's more places to go to. Moving a scalp around all the time could become very frustrating. I'm just glad we're using it though. We've had this vehicle for ages and barely used it. Nice it's actually got a proper use for once. So I kind of want to go roughly where our dumper is, maybe a bit more forward than that. Here's not too bad. Let's just see radius that gives us. So not quite to the tunnel. So if we move further this way, it should give us enough room to get to the tunnel. I'm liking that incline. There we go. Right, let's stop there and see if we're close enough. No, we need a bit more. What about that? That's just about it, to be fair. We're not going to be able to go right up to there anyway. So let's see if it allows us to do it here. It may not allow us to. No, I did wonder if it would. There's more of a sandy bit. There is a bit directly below us there, looks quite sandy. This is quite rocky, to be fair. No. I want to go to that bit there, I think. I may have gone too far past it. No, there we go. We're good to go. Back to the bake out. Wait for it to fully put out everything. Kind of hit the tree when it was doing so. So that should give us exactly what we need now for the rest of this road, and then it will just be refilling the gaps once the main road is built. There'll be 2 gaps either side essentially. That's all we'll need to fill out, and then that'll be the road complete, and we can send the convoy on its way, and then we can head around and look for other things we need to find and do. So there's more buildings to destroy locally. Whether it's worth doing them in one shot, I'm not sure, or leaving them until we actually need the resources. I suppose having the resources around is handy. We can always stick them in storage, couldn't we? That's the thing. Okay, why does that look quite rocky here? Because it is very rocky. I'm going to need them rocks out of the way, aren't I? To be fair, we have the Carolean with the front wedge. See if we can move the rocks out of the way. Maybe we need a crane, I'm not sure. They are quite big rocks. They are blocking our route. I do like the Carolean with the blade. I think it is, we haven't really utilised the blade as much as we probably could. But I like the Carolean anyway as a vehicle, to be fair. I think there's a rock underneath us somewhere. Look at that, right underneath us. Come on. Come on, get out the last little bit. Taking the rock with us. Come on, just need to bounce it out, to be fair. Yeah, the Carolean itself is a really good scout vehicle. The blade, I can see definitely the added advantage, especially with the things that we're about to do now. If we've got the power to move the rocks, that's the big thing. Although, I might just try and push them downhill, to be fair. Because my thinking is we can go straight across there. If we can. Kind of moved it. This is going to be extremely rocky here, isn't it? We put sand flattening should be low enough. We can just clear a path enough, that's all we need to do. We don't need to get rid of all the rocks fully, to clear a path. So we can join the two bits of road more than anything else. Don't know how easy this will be though to actually get these out of the way without a crane. That moved fairly well, to be fair. There's a big one in the middle here that's going to prove difficult, I think. Oh no, maybe not. This is where the blade is really coming in handy. Until we get hung up on rocks. Move the bucket to allow us to get out of there. I think there's rocks underneath us. There we go. So it's just these ones. I think if we can move these, we've got our road area clear. Although I don't think the bucket's going low enough. Don't think I can get rid of any more at the minute. I think we may just need to lay the sand and now pop to the surface. That may be the better option, to be fair. In a minute. Okay. Back to the dumper. We cleared it near enough. I think the rest of it we can sort out in a second. We're going to have to go back anyway and clear some of these rocks that have appeared anyway. Right, we kind of went a bit off centre there, but it's okay. It's not too bad here, but late. Oh, really? Later. Okay, that's interesting. It's always ominous when someone says, not so bad, wait till later. Yeah, we should be able to go straight there. We'll go as far as we can towards the tunnel entrance. And then we'll flatten everything we've got. We'll lay the asphalt where we've done it so far. As I say, we'll just have a couple of joints to make afterwards. Going too quickly there, aren't we? Probably should have low gear on just to stop me going too quick, to be fair. Right, we're getting a bit caught up on the rocks there. They are actually moving. As we put sand down, it is forcing some of the rocks to move down the hill a little bit. That's quite handy. Moving a little bit more to the right, maybe. With our first big road on the map. Okay. Yeah, the sand does make the rocks move. Some will come to the surface, but others will go away. It's quite handy, really. And again, you probably don't need a road here. It probably would be solid enough not to worry too much. Don't know why it's coming out at an angle. But I want to be sure that we're not going to have an issue with the convoy. And if they use a wayfarer, they probably would get stuck. So So just making sure that we're not going to have to come back and fix anything later on, essentially. Because then we can just leave the convoy doing its thing. But also, if we have any future convoys from here, we don't need to do too much to get them going. Just kind of future-proofing things at the same time. Spend the time now to make later on easier, essentially. Right, we're going to join to that road there. I think this will be the last load, to be honest. Just need to join to that road, and we should be golden to start levelling the rest of it, and then lay the asphalt. The last dumper load. I don't know, like fill up fully there, that's okay. I think I'm going to be just a little bit short, aren't I? Yeah. Ah, okay, I'm able to pour sand here, interestingly. I think it's the road bit here. So there is a point, it doesn't allow you to put any more sand down. See where that point is. So it is literally there. Okay. So that's as close to a tunnel as we can get. LVs, good morning, how are you? So what we'll do is we'll level all the sand we can, although I'm going to have to get the Pioneer back a bit. Wrong vehicle. No, I'm not. I didn't move the Pioneer. I'm looking at the wrong bit. Pioneer's here. So obviously there will be a join we need to make here in due course, but that can wait for the minute. We'll flatten what we've got this way, and then we'll get the asphalt out and start doing that as well. But yeah, we'll make the join once the road's complete. How are you this morning then, LVs? We'll come back and get rid of some of these rocks as well. I think doing a path, a flattened area first, then come back and get rid of the rocks, probably the right order to do it in. Just to try and avoid making big divots and things. Some of the rocks will just move away as we flatten it, to be fair, as well. Some will stay as well in the way, just to be annoying. Really rocky bit will be interesting to see how it works. It might be okay. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to kind of end up. A lot of rocks here. Some are falling to the side though, which is helpful. Some, not so much. There's a lot of rocks, isn't it? Can't get the bucket low enough with the sand leveling, I don't think, to actually move them. Problem is, if I do it manually, I probably will end up making a big divot. Oh, actually, slower works better. Seems to work better just for going a bit slower towards them. I don't want to make a big divot in the road, that's the thing. Divot, hole, whatever you want to call it. Right, level this bit, and then we'll just come back to ourselves and get rid of rocks we haven't got rid of. And then asphalt time. Don't think this is the biggest road we've built looking at, though. I think we've built longer. There we we go. Unable to dig here. So that is as far as we can go towards the tunnel. So we're just going to get rid of any rocks that we kind of missed. Oh, pretty dudes. See if we can flatten this a little more, just do more of an edge this right hand side. And go more left here a little bit as well. I don't want to make it uneven, but at the same time we've got to make sure the rocks are out of the way, that's the only thing. I think some places might end up a bit thinner than others by the looks of things. This is why I'm not very good at laying the sand down evenly. Okay, it's more rocks to get rid of. We're basically going to end back to the gap, the start point, I think. Okay, a few more over here, and then I think we're nearly ready for asphalt. Yeah, a few more here actually. Surprising how many there is actually coming up through the sand. I do wonder if scalper sand has more rocks. It does seem like we're getting a massive amount of rocks where we wouldn't normally. It may be the map. We've got a few rocks stuck on the bucket. It may be the map itself is just more rocky. It's more deserty. But I wonder if the scalper is contributing to that compared to a quarry. When we start to use sand from a quarry, we'll have to have a look and see if we get as many rocks come up. It would make sense if it did, if the scalper did produce more rocks, because obviously it's taken from the natural environment, not a dugout quarry. It does seem like there's a lot more rocks here. The only thing I'm worried about doing this is how bumpy are we making it when we keep going to the sides of the rock, that's the only thing. Okay. We'll just park this up over here for the minute. We'll need this again once we level out, once we make the joins. We're now ready for the asphalt. What we'll do, we'll asphalt all of the bits we've done. We'll just add the joins in afterwards. So for the asphalt, we've got the Iron Roadworks 120 Special. It is the widest asphalt in the game. So this is the one you get later on in the game rather than the one you start with. I don't know, we might need to do 2 runs, depending. We'll obviously try and make the roads as wide as we can. If we can get it in the middle, we'll be fine, but we may need a second run in some bits, like, too bad. It will spread out a bit more once you level it anyway with the roller. Okay. Normally when you lay asphalt, doesn't the low gear go on automatically? Because for some reason it's not. I'm sure it normally does, just to slow you down. for a sec. Okay, I just want to quickly go back and do this bit here. Not that bit. Turn. Thank you. Asphalters do have a mind of their own a lot of the time. No, I don't know if we do need 2 runs, to be fair. In terms of coming up against the convoy vehicles and getting out of their way, because they won't stop for us. Can just go off to the side, to be fair. There's quite a lot of runoff, it looks like, so I don't think we need to worry too much about width. Saying that, I do want to make sure we've got a decent amount of width, especially when it comes to corners and things. It's a bit fiddly to do today. Asphalters can just do what they want a lot of the time, and you just have to deal with and struggle with it. And this one is no exception. Make the corner as wide as we can. We know what the AI trucks are like. Sometimes they will just go too fast and miss the turn from where you've set it up. So just to be sure of that, we can just make the asphalt a bit wider on the corners. Normally we'd do 2 runs no matter what. I'd go to the right and then come back on the left, but don't really need to. And then we know we're going to be adding to this road as we go. So I'm not too worried about how wide it is at the minute. So we're saying that. But is it too thin is the question. I don't know, maybe it is worth coming back on ourselves just to be sure. I'm in 2 minds now whether we come back. I think we do come back on ourselves. Not all the way, but I think to a certain point there was a bit where we should have been a bit wider. Right, let's just spin this round if we can. No. That was spin. Right, we're just going to quickly go back on ourselves here. Just to make sure we've got the width we want. Because we were a little bit more one side. Don't need to go all the way though. Kind of like to make sure the roads are good rather than just dash. And, you know, done as quickly as we can. I do try and make them proper roads if possible. Okay, this is the bit coming up here I thought we probably need to come back on. And then we've got the main road mission bit itself, and then we've got the little bit to go towards the tunnel. Not liking this bit. It's because it's on such an angle. There we go, try and be a bit straighter. Level out eventually. Right, there we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, it's a lot wider now. I think going back on ourselves is definitely the right plan there. Right, we're going to the main bit of the road itself next, and then we've got the extra bit on the end as well. And then it'll be rolling time. And then joining. It's not quite finished once we get the road up and running. But that'll be, and then we can start the convoy off, and that'll give us concrete slabs, and then we can start having a look at where we need to go next. Obviously, main mission needs us to go further south. We know probably more than likely we won't be able to complete the main mission till we've got a lot of the side stuff done, because we're going to need access to buildings and things. There's still more buildings to destroy as well. That one there on the left is one that can be destroyed. We haven't found any of the actual infrastructure buildings yet. So metal pipes, steel beams, that kind of stuff. Quite a bit of metal here that can be recycled though, it would seem. But yeah, we'll make a join here and turn it into a junction properly. We'll do the main road bit first, just so it doesn't tell us off and make the join silly. Right, I think we do what we normally do. We'll go to the right hand side and come back on the left. I think that is the best option to get that right width done. We do generally make the roads wide as we can, mainly so we can pass oncoming vehicles. I wasn't going to, but actually I think we should. It is already saying we've got enough down though. Before we saw missions where double roads, which actually then you end up joining in the middle. We used to do 2 loads either side just to make them wide anyway, and then we found we didn't really need to do that as much. You can get away with just doing one run a lot of the time as long as you spread it. And to be fair, the Pioneer spreads it really well. I think that was the thing. Once you get the upgraded vehicles, you find that a lot of the stuff you do you don't need to necessarily do because the new vehicles help you do it normally, and I think the Pioneer is a good example of that. Slightly off. Back on the road. There we go. That bit we're definitely going over the bit we just did. But yeah, there will be a join here once this road is complete. Right, we just need to go back on ourselves. We'll do the whole right hand side. And I was definitely a long way away from the line on one part of it. Where is that? But yeah, because of the width the Pioneer pushes the sand out, means you don't generally have to do 2 loads next to each other. Makes life a bit easier. It's weird what we did at the start of the game to what we do now, and how we've kind of progressed in what we need to do. You know, building roads we did completely differently originally. But also that's down to the vehicles being better as well. It'd be interesting to see people's modded vehicles, you know, people who are silly and make a vehicle that can do everything in all in one. If that's even possible, to be fair. Because now they've added that into the game, especially on the PlayStation. You can imagine some people coming up with some crazy creations. That's a good point, actually. Does anyone have any ideas of what they would do as a modded vehicle to make life easier or quicker, maybe? What 2 vehicles would you combine, maybe? What if you get the asphalt layer with a roller behind it, so it rolls as you go? Things like that, I think, would make life a little bit quicker, wouldn't they? I don't know what I would do, to be fair. I'd have all-wheel drive on the Wayfarer. That would make the Wayfarer more useful, considering how big it is. And have a crane as well. That would be really good. Wayfarer with crane and all-wheel drive would make the vehicle from useless to better. Right, we'll lay the asphalt to the tunnel, and then we'll grab the roller and finish these off before making the joins. And then the convoy can be on its way. and then we need to go and find more missions. Although I think we should head towards the main mission bit, just so that's opened up and see what we're dealing with. But I think again here we'll stick to the right hand side because we want to come back on ourselves anyway for the join. I might put it down too early with that. Because we're joining these, it doesn't matter so much. We want to be back in this middle bit when we're done anyway, so move forward. Really not liking this bit. Can't turn or anything. I think there's a bit of a hump there and it's not liking it. I think that's the issue there. Oh, there's a rock also underneath us there by lots of things. But this has been absolutely fine to use until now, and now it's got a mind of its own. I think there is that lump there that it doesn't like. So we'll end up doing the join so we can flatten that off anyway. Yeah, it's not liking this at all. It's been absolutely fine till now. What's going on with this? There's no rock in the way that I can see. Unless it's just still a rock underneath us maybe. Because it is really not happy. Put low gear on just to see if that helps. I know there's a rock there obviously. So we'll try and move. I think there must be a rock underneath us because it is really not happy. Can't see anything though. Is there something stuck underneath us? All I can see, it's just really not happy with this bit here for some reason. That's weird. I wonder if just taking the rocks away made it really uneven and that's why it's not liking it maybe. Try that. Take low gear off. It's still really unhappy. I don't know what the issue is, to be fair. Can't go forward at all. What is going on with this? I know this can be temperamental, but I've not seen it behave like this at all. It does them a lot. It's not the gradient because we've done a lot worse gradients on the previous map. To be fair, one specifically. For some reason, it's just really not liking this area. Straight there. Go more in the middle and see if that helps it. Turning low gear off maybe. No, it's okay. It's not going left though. Unless you stop going forward to then go left. It's not behaved like this for a while, to be fair. We've had issues with this. The asphalt layers, to be fair, they do have a mind of their own, but not to this degree. Well, not for a very long time, anyway. All I can think is we've made it really uneven while we're getting rid of the stones, and that's an issue. I can't go forward. Okay. And you can see a bit of a hump to the right, but that shouldn't be stopping us going forward here. There we go. That's better. Just behaving really weirdly compared to normal. And then now it's back to normal again. Not sure what's going on there. Wasn't happy about something there. We are back to normal now. Ish. I think I'm too far right. I think it's catching on that right hand side. There we go. Just behaving really weirdly. The bits we've kind of missed because this was acting weirdly, we can go back and do. We came back on ourselves anyway. The first bit of asphalt we laid it was easy, just did it no problem at all. This bit is really not like it. I do think it's where we've got rid of the rocks and made things a bit more uneven. I think that's half the issue. But unless we bring a crane out and grab each individual rock individually, which would be a bit silly, no real way of getting around that. And a lot of these rocks didn't appear till after we laid the sand. So it's not even as if the rocks were there and they've come through. It just weren't. They weren't. It came with the sand. So a bit weird. We've got to come back on ourselves anyway. But that was just really awkward. Right, we'll have to redo the bits you didn't like. And then we're just going to roll everything and do joins. And we're there. We knew this road would take a while because there's quite a lot to it, to be fair. But we are getting there. But yeah, we will probably have a look at the modded stuff again in due course. I think we'll finish the DLC map and then we'll have another look. Because by the time we finish the DLC map, there may actually be more options when we first looked at DLC maps and things. I was really hoping for really good ones. And when we finished the last DLC, we had a look at the modded maps and there wasn't really much variety, or they were really simple. But now they've added the new tools, hopefully, it means there'll be more things done. We could even have had a little look and try it ourselves. I wouldn't say I'm the most creative person though, to be fair. We can always have a look though. Right, this bit I really didn't like. We go to this side here first. And then we'll come back and go the other way. I think it is more the unevenness more than anything else. That's what I'm happy with. Then it had massive issues here for some reason. I don't think we need to spend forever trying to make it fully better. If it's going to have issues, it's going to have issues. We've done what we can there. We beach ourselves. Can't seem to move anywhere. There we go, you're on tracks, you shouldn't beach yourself like that. Okay, we are going to need this again, obviously we're going to need to fill in the gaps once we've built the road, but now we can grab the roller, do everything we need to do, and then that's the road complete, and we can move on to the next step. So, the Ironing Roadworks 750R is the roller of choice, 2.6 meter width. The reason we use that compared to K-Tac, it's only the K-Toc, sorry, is only 2.5 meter wide compared to the Ironing Roadworks, which is 2.6. Okay, it's 0.1 better. I didn't realise it was that close. We've always used this roller because it's a later one. But it's actually 0.1 meters wider. I thought it was wider than that, to be fair. So it's not as wide. There's not much difference in the two than I expected. I just prefer this one. Right, rolling's on. I need to remember to keep doing that. When we first started the game, when you were rolling roads, you didn't need to switch the roller on. That was added in a later update. So now we need to remember to keep putting roller on. Obviously not as wide as the Pioneer, so we will need to come back on the other side. Sometimes we need to come back in the middles as well. See how we get on. We won't have as many issues as we did with the asphalt today with this. So this should be fairly quick and simple. And it is spreading the asphalt slightly more than what we put down to the side, so it'll make it slightly wider. Although the actual mission road will do something different on the edges than what we do. Because our edges kind of stay complete, but when you do a mission road it kind of leaves a gap and then like off-cut asphalt. But yeah, a modded asphalt layer that actually can do its job without having as many issues would be handy. Make life a little bit easier. Both asphalt layers we've used though, and they both have their problems. Okay, we're making good progress. Obviously there'll be a join here anyway, so we don't need to worry too much. We need to spin ourselves around in a back flip. We go on the right hand side and we come back down the middle. Yeah, definitely quicker than laying the asphalt. We can stay quite right because we're going to come back on ourselves anyway, so we can try and do as wide as we can. Feels like the sun's setting, doesn't it? The way it looks. I'm assuming because this is a drought, we're not going to see any rain on this map compared to normal. Should make a nice change. I know a lot of people complain about the rain and you can turn it off on maps now. It's never been a real big issue for me, to be fair. It just adds to the atmosphere, I find, when it's raining. Okay, nearly back at the start, and then come back in the middle, finish off the bits that I missed. And then main road bit, and then our extension on the end of it as well. Okay. Now we can come back on ourselves. And probably more than likely have to join this road as time goes on anyway. Right, make sure we get the bits of mist. And then main road bit is next. I think I missed a bit on this corner. Oh no, not as bad as I thought it was. Middle bit here. Curious what else we're going to have to do here. I think there's going to be a few more buildings to destroy. That was my biggest issue with the Autumn Collapse map, because it kind of felt like the big seller of this DLC was the Wrecking Ball, and I kind of felt like we didn't get a chance to use it that much. I know you had the flooded village, but that's quite late on. So I'm hoping there's going to be a bit more to destroy here. Obviously we've already done one building, there's one to our left here that we can destroy and get resources from. But hopefully there's a few more. And then we know later on in 2026 we are getting some new maps and more DLC as well. How long they keep supporting this for, I don't know. Obviously it's from the same people that make SnowRunner and they're still supporting that. Expedition is a Mud Runner game, one of their games as well. That is ending support now, so it's already had its last bit of extra content. It's done 5 seasons, so it'd be interesting to see how much they add to this. There's so much scope, I think, to what they can do with this. It's whether they want to do it or not is the question. I think there's a lot they could add. Okay, let's try and make this as wide as we can. As this will be the main bit of roadway. I don't think we'll need to come back this way for a while, so we shouldn't actually bump into anything. But there is another road coming off near the tunnel, so I don't know whether that will be useful later. And we don't normally stop convoys unless they're really being awkward and in our way once they've got all the rewards. We do try and keep them going. Obviously, like I say, we'll join this together once we've completed the road itself. World Cup today as well, England play. There's been a few shocks actually in the World Cup for those that are watching it. It's always nice to see the underdogs win. And to be fair, the big thing I've noticed in the World Cup this time is the African teams. A lot of them are doing really well, and some of their players, they're probably overlooked a lot by a lot of people because they're not playing for big teams, but actually look really good. I think my boy's disappointed with the World Cup just because a lot of the games are on too late for him. He's only 11, but he can't watch a lot of the games because of the time they're on, like 10 o'clock at night or 2 in the morning. Not that I watch the 2 in the morning ones, to be fair. So that is the road complete. We're obviously going to make the joins to it and join our roads together anyway. So we'll go and finish off the other bit and then make that join. It does complete some of this for you. If there's any bits in the middle we missed, it does generally complete them. But you can see the edge what I was on about compared to our roads. You get that broken bit of asphalt on the edges. That always happens with any of the roads you do for the mission. We did gain some tokens for that. We'll maybe use them in due course to unlock quarries and things. We know this time not to use them on the radar vehicle and just waste them, because that was kind of pointless last time. But yeah, you can see there the cut-off bit it did on the sides. It's a weird way it does it, to be fair. But we'll make the join here once we'll roll what we've got, and then we'll make the join just to be sure it all works out. It may look a bit iffy, the join. I'm not too sure how it's going to go. But we needed to wait until this was complete, otherwise it would just be a gap. So we'll roll what we've got here already. Looks a bit too wide, to be fair, although that is a corner. Corners we do want wide if we can. I was aiming for the rock ledge, I'll push it a little bit. I think taking the rocks off the sand when they appeared, I think that's what's caused this bumpiness. That's something we need to be aware of next time. The issue is we didn't know the rocks were there until after we put the sand down. It's a bit tricky to keep it level. I don't think it'll affect any vehicles coming in the convoy. It just looks a bit awkward. It's a good view though, down the mountain. To be fair, because this is the top of the map, I think that radio tower over there is where we need to be heading next to see more of the map. That should open up more of it. So that's probably what we'll do once we set the convoy up, to be fair, is go ahead towards that and see what that needs. If anything, it may just activate once we're there. Right, this bit, we didn't do very well this bit here. It's a bit thinner than I would like. Should be okay. Right, we need to go back on the side. There may need to be a third run to the middle potentially in places, because this is quite wide, to be fair. Yeah, I think we have to come back in the middle, aren't we? in a lot of places. I wonder if one of the modded vehicles you could do is a wider roller. Because you probably can get wider rollers in real life, I would assume. I don't know for sure though. I think I suppose getting them through narrow roads and things would be awkward, to be fair. And fitting on the back of a truck to take it anywhere wouldn't work because it was really long or really wide. So maybe that's why they don't do them. But so far this morning we spent all our time making this big long road to get the convoy up and running. I think it'd be worth it. It's one of those things. Like I say, a lot of people dislike building roads because they're taking a while, they're not quick. But actually, spending the time now does make life easier later. That's the big thing that we've learned from the game previously. If you rush these beginning bits of infrastructure, you tend to make your life harder later on. I know we're coming down the middle, but we've missed that bit by jumping over that rock. Now, I'm not going to kind of push them rocks out of the way. We don't really need that extra width, I don't think. Obviously, we're going to need to make that bump there join better. I may even destroy that bit of asphalt, I think, maybe. Just to flatten it. In all honesty, because that does seem weird there. Okay, do the middle and then we'll do these joins and then we can set the convoy up. 2 little joins to make and then job done. I don't think putting the roller on actually slows it down at all either, I've noticed. And the thing with the roller, when you switch it on, you don't actually know you don't notice it. That's the only thing. Other than the fact it's flattening what you're doing, but I just generally leave it on all the time. Because I don't think it really affects the vehicle or slows it down or does anything like that. So there's no harm in just leaving it on. But then I don't also turn any vehicles off. That was something they added in later on. When you first started the game, you couldn't switch vehicles off or turn the engines off. They added in so you can. I still don't use it. I'm so used to just changing vehicle to use something else that it's not something I really look at or think about, to be fair. Okay, that is all that rolled, that is ready to go. So, we want to fill in these gaps. What I'm going to quickly do, we jump into our dumper. Turn this around. We need to take it to where the gap is so we can make the join. Before we'll get this close to it and then we'll quickly jump into the grader just to break the asphalt on that hump. And then we can flatten that out a bit better than it is. I don't know how even these joins are going to be. We've not joined it this way before. We've done joins previously on roads, but we've done them all in one foul swoop, and they've not been brilliant. So I wondered if this method would be better. If it's not, we'll go back to doing it all in one go next time. But we'll see how we go. Got a bit of a pothole there. To be fair, a road's not a road without a big hole in it, is it really? All roads have holes. Why have I got low gear on? Oh, it's to slow me down when I was putting sand down, wasn't it? Yeah, some of this is a bit patchy in places. We've had a bit of awkwardness sometimes, but generally, I think we did a decent job. Okay, this is our join here. First of the two. So where that hump is, I think if we destroy that first. So we've not really done much asphalt construction, but I think just destroying that edge and then I don't want to do too much of it. Or not. Why does that not do any of that? Oh, I needed to put it down, I think, myself. Yeah, there we go. I do like the way it breaks up the asphalt. I like the way it does it. I think that's quite cool, in all honesty. There we go. That should sort that hump out, hopefully. Right, we need to lay sand in the gap. This is going to be a little bit awkward, I think. We'll see how this goes. Again, we don't want to really have big humps if we can avoid it. Okay, while we're here, might as well keep going down and do the other joint with sand. Yeah, I'm not too sure how this is going to work. Like I say, next time, if this doesn't work this way, we'll just do it in one fell swoop like we used to. I just thought this would be better, but I'm in two minds now if it will be. Okay. Right, that should be the joint, hopefully. Right, we'll work on the first joint and just see how that goes. So that is our joints near enough done. So if we go back onto the asphalt and do it from there. And this hopefully will work. What I don't want is it to kind of be bumpy where it joins. I don't think it will be though, looking at that actually. It's gone quite flat. This might actually work out better than I intended. Because that has gone fairly flat, to be fair. I think it may have been the right method, in all honesty. That looks to have been flattened quite nicely. I think that will join nicely as well. That's gone better than I expected. Okay, the other joint to flatten, and then we'll get the asphalt laid, rolled, send the convoy, and we'll crack on and do other things. Mission-wise, I don't think, other than the main mission area to go and visit, I don't think we've actually got any new missions currently. So we'll head to what the antenna we saw and see what's going on there, because that may even open up more of the map for us as well. Right, let's get this bit flattened. There is a bit of a gap. Hopefully we can spread this enough not to worry. So my biggest concern was making sure there's not one big hump, essentially. But I think it's actually gone quite well. I can see it's adding to this junction here anyway in due course. The only bit I'm concerned about is that little bit on that right hand side, which doesn't seem to have any sand there. Problem is, our dumper doesn't have any sand left in it. Oh, the quarry, yeah, the quarry's there. Let's just quickly grab another dumper. Reason being, I don't think there's enough sand there for what we want. Yeah, I'll do it. I know it's in a small one. We just need one little bit more sand, but we're not close enough to a quarry to actually get more sand in our dumper, so we might as well quickly send a small dumper there. I just want to do it quickly more than anything else. But yeah, I think we missed a little bit. Just needs sorting out. I can't not do it as well as possible. I kind of like to do things as well as we can. Even though we'll probably get away with it, to be fair. haven't used the small dumpers in ages, mainly because the big dumpers carry so much more. Small dumpers kind of come obsolete, really. I do think the update they did yesterday, where they've made the sounds for some vehicles work better. I can notice a difference driving this. It does sound different. Unless that's just my hearing going weird, but I do think it does sound different. Right, we just need to flatten that, and that should be all good to go. Already on the right mode. Yeah, this was a bit. We didn't really have any sand on this bit, so I just thought we better quickly put some down. We probably could have got away with it. Try not to have a hill there though. That's the problem. Okay. I think that's good to go. Right, we can get that out of the way. We've got to lay asphalt on both of these two joins and then roll it, and then we're done. Taking a bit longer than I would have hoped, but just trying to do it properly at the same time, that's the thing. Right, we need to go back onto the road over there. Can't do things by halves, I think that's the thing. There is still a hump on that edge there, but I think that's okay. Use it as a barrier to stop the vehicles going off down the cliff. Right, see how this likes it. As I say, we don't really know how well this is going to go. We may still have to revert back to the original method of doing this. We'll know once we roll it, I think, how well it's really gone. I think I'm a little bit too close to the edge, I'm not liking it. Just trying to get that a little bit wider on the turn, to be fair. Right, just do this left hand side, and then we'll go and quickly do the other bit. Oh, do that. I think this may actually be the better way of doing it. It definitely seems to have worked. Especially when it to look nice. Obviously, if you're rushing around and don't care what it looks like, this probably is a bit pointless, but trying to go forward, but it's really not happy with this edge bit. There we go. Right, just got to quickly asphalt the other join and then get it rolled, good job done. Obviously it's taking a bit longer than I thought it would, but it's definitely a road. Already 10:15. Wow. So what's that, an hour and 45 minutes I think it's taken us? It is a long road to be fair. This is why I can see why people don't bother with roads sometimes, because of the time it takes to get them done. And if that convoy has an issue immediately, I'm going to be annoyed. But it shouldn't do. And as I say, we'll head to the antenna, have a look, see what that opens up, what gives us to do, and we'll go from there. What's next? Hopefully no road for a little while. That'd be handy, but I think we're going to be doing a few more roads yet. We've only seen the top part of the map, but there's a lot more we haven't seen yet. That's the big thing. Right, let's join these bits as well. We could probably leave the sand without a join and the convoy wouldn't have an issue. but for me it's not done properly if we don't make a joint properly. I don't know where them rocks appeared from, they weren't there before. Go around. Yeah, I can see this junction needed more of a road in due course, but at the minute it's not actually needed. Made it as wide as we can as well, just to be sure. Yeah, it is probably a bit overkill doing these joins this way, to be fair. But I just like things done well. Okay, back to the roll-up. Both joins to do, and then we're good. And then Convoy can come on this way. And then we start getting concrete slabs in our inventory for the Convoy. It needs to do the Convoy 6 times for 6 slabs. Although maybe 7. I don't know if the first load contains one or not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. The first one sometimes is just mission completion. We're a little bit spotty here, to be fair. There's me saying I want to do things properly. It's a little bit spotty there, to be fair. If I quickly turn off rolling, no, there is no difference in speed. I didn't think there was. It may as well just be on all the time. I will say the distance looks interesting. We know there's going to be lots of sand involved. I think tracks will be quite handy around here in a lot of the locations, as we've seen. Right, first joint. See how it actually looks once it's done. It actually looks really. It looks like it was originally intended, or originally part of one run. I think that's worked out really well. Obviously, it's taken time, and we didn't have to make it look like it connected nicely. But the fact it does actually makes me think we've made the right choice in doing that. Yeah, it looks like it was originally one piece. If we hadn't done it this way, the mission road would have left a big gap between that and the road we've made. So filling in the gap, making these joins after that, means it will look like one piece. So yeah, I think that the method is correct if you want it to look like it should join together. Obviously it takes a lot longer to do though. There is a big downside to it. Okay, last bit, and then convoy time, and then we can crack on with some exploration and see what else we can find we need to do. We need to find some of these infrastructure buildings ideally as well, because currently we don't know any of them are. I've empty destroy buildings though. I think there's a couple more near here that we can destroy. But at the minute we don't really need to, because we don't know what resources we need as of yet. And obviously we've got to find the phantom buildings as well that we're going to need to build up. Yeah, definitely taking a while to do this, but it does look better. Although saying that, this joint's a little bit haphazard here. You don't know how bad you've done something until you nearly finished it. You go, actually, that's brilliant. When you're doing it, you're like, it's working really well. It's only afterwards you go, oh, actually, I'm not sure about that. I don't think this joint will be as nice as the first one. Looking at it, it won't roll this bit here by the looks of things for some reason. Yeah, that bit won't roll. There's not enough sand there, or there's something stopping that rolling properly. But the actual join to the mission bit, I think, will be okay. Yeah, there wasn't enough sand in areas, so the asphalt only goes on sand you've laid yourself. So if there wasn't sand there, it won't do it. We are going to have to put probably another road in on this junction at some point. I'm not overly fussed at this moment, because I think we'll end up doing a bit more to it anyway. Yeah, there's a bit of sand missing essentially. Right, last bit, and that is finally this big long road from our fob all the way to the tunnel done. There we go. Taking a while, but it is finally done. And we have a big road. Okay, convoy time. Let's set the convoy up so it can be doing its thing. It does say, there is a site of infrastructure mission here. In Dustfield Town, which is where we are now. And replace pipes. There's 4 pipes. We obviously don't have any pipes at the minute. But at some point we'll need to replace them from the water pump station to Dustfield Town. So I'm guessing the pump station is down here somewhere. So that's an infrastructure mission we need to look at. Okay, the big one, the convoy. This is the whole reason we're doing this road. And hopefully it doesn't have any issues. If it does, I'm going to be a bit annoyed all the time it's spent. I think we're going to end up using this road quite a lot though. More than just this one convoy. I would hope so anyway. Otherwise this whole time we spent will be a little bit wasted. Make sure it takes the corners okay. It does look like it's going to be using a small vehicle rather than the Wayfarer, which is handy. Although, the way we've done the road, I would have preferred a Wayfarer to make full use of it. I can completely understand why some people don't bother with roads like this and just put sand, or just struggle through essentially. I just like to do things properly, where we can, obviously. There are going to be little errors and things, but generally, the more we can make it the way it should be, the better. Okay, the only reason this will fail or have any issues, I think, will be based on how we've put the route down. But other than that, it should be okay. Let's get it to come round, and there we go. Let's dispatch the vehicles. All of ours are out the way. So we've got no objectives to do other than the main objective, which is the pumping station, which is all the way down here. So before that, we did see something of interest, which was, I'll get the angle, where's he gone? Over there. So in the distance there, you can just see the red parts. That is an antenna, which generally will give us more of an open map. So we are going to head that way, so let this pass us first. In the Carillion with the blade, it's already here. So we're going to try and head over there to see what that gives us. It looks like a bit of a hill we're going to get up. We can follow the road to a degree. There is a road just there, maybe worth following, if we can get down here in one piece. Don't tip over. There we go. Nearly beached ourselves. So we'll head to that road and follow that. Generally following the roads is a good idea. A lot of this, obviously, for us is unexplored. But the more we explore, the more missions we find. I do like that addition though, where missions aren't just given to you. You do need to look around for them. I do think that's a good thing. It's also just looking at points of interest. So this road is heading. It's actually a road sign that has left. So this may be a road we're going to need to do in due course as well. Our antenna is up on that. Is it that ridge? No, it's there. So our antenna is dead ahead over there. This road, I think, leads there. To be fair, it looks like it does. And just see how. I still think the mud on the vehicle doesn't quite match the atmosphere or the terrain. It looks very wet, that mud. Although that actually, the sand we're going through also looks wet. Considering this is meant to be a drought, would it be as wet underneath? I'm not sure it would be. Right, that's the antenna we're aiming for. I think this road will lead straight there, looking at it. It's where we find a big hole that needs a bridge or something. You can't actually get up there. Yeah. Good. There is a second part, I think, going that way. But up here is the antenna. long as it doesn't need us to do anything like deliver materials that we don't currently have. Activate the communication tower's new side objective. Okay, we are going to need to bring something here by the looks of things. So the convoy made its first delivery. It still needs to do 5 more. So that is mission complete for doing that. Let's let it save and catch up. Still saving. I don't like doing loads of different things while it's saving in case it messes anything up. So radio tower's here. Activate the radio tower. So let's track and open. Let's have a look. Get to the communication tower to find out what's going on in a certain part of the region. We need to deliver an object. We get useless XP. I still don't understand why they've not increased the level cap with the DLCs. Because XP is pointless. We do get 2 tokens though. So we need to take an object from our fob and deliver it here. Now we've just seen how bumpy this whole journey was. But I think we can make it with something similar to the Carillion. Saying that, okay, there is something here. There's a pipeline here. I don't think we can get past that though. Seeing if there's a shortcut here, but I don't think so. I think we'll need to follow our road essentially and come down the way we did here. The road actually comes up there, doesn't it? Yeah, so the road goes to a tunnel essentially. Okay, so we need a vehicle with a crane to pick up the item that's there. So we're looking at something similar to what that? I don't. The Trailblazer is probably the go-to. Let's just double check and just make sure there's nothing we haven't used yet. I'm very conscious that we try and use every vehicle and own every vehicle, so I just want to double check there's nothing we've missed. I don't think we have. No, we have them all. I did think we did. Yeah. So if we go, we'll grab the Trailblazer. I think that's a good, solid vehicle to use in this terrain. The item we need is around this corner. Have a look what it is. It's only small, to be fair. The only thing we're going to be careful of, I think, is going too quick and taking a bump and flying us somewhere. That's the only thing we need to be a little bit careful of. But this will activate more of the map as well. Should really put anchors down. This doesn't look that big, but if you don't put anchors down, it can get annoying and tip us over accidentally and things. Okay, strap the load. Camera, anchors. Okay, well we kind of know where we're going. We want to follow our road all the way to the tunnel and then come down there. I don't think there's a shorter route that's worth risking, because if we turn ourselves over, we've got to go and rescue ourselves. So we may as well follow a route that works. So that's the second delivery. It's the second concrete slab delivered. Was it second? No, it's first. I think that, so the base reward wasn't a concrete slab then by the looks of it. As I thought, the first time it delivered, you just get the mission finish, and now we've got 5 more deliveries of concrete slabs, I believe. That will give us 6 in total, I think. Then we'll have all the rewards for that mission done. Yeah, it didn't give us one, so I think that was the first, essentially. Whoa! We're making good time, to be fair. I weren't sure how quick they'd be, but actually fairly quick. There may be a convoy that we stop once we've got all the rewards from it, because I think it may be annoying going to our fob especially. But we'll see how we go. I do like to keep them going, it adds more atmosphere to the maps. And we've got, oh, there's another one there. They're not coming one at a time, are they? That's why we're getting them so quickly, I think. Yeah, but if we have to use that fob quite a lot, them coming towards it all the time would be really annoying. If they don't move out of your way, you've got to move out of their way. Okay, we saw the road just here on the left, that's where we're going to follow. Seems to be the safest option. Whoa! Okay, a bit nose first there. Just we need to be careful on some of these bumps so we don't go flying and end up turning over, because then we'll have to send a second vehicle to save this one. wouldn't be ideal. It does get really deep though, doesn't it, the sand? It is more sand than mud. Although some of it's quite wet in places, which is still weird because there's a drought. But I suppose it's retained moisture, so maybe it does make sense. It's just the top layer that's been dried out, maybe. I don't think the wet mud on the vehicles works. I think that's where they've gone wrong a little bit. It should be more not dry. It should be more dry than wet. I suppose that's nitpicking, isn't it, really? Right, we are nearly there already. Didn't take long, did it? It seemed to take longer than actually going here in the Carillion than it did actually get here in the mule, to be fair. This is why generally we don't use a scout truck to explore. We use a vehicle like the mule or the Voron or the Trailblazer. Mainly because if you need to pick something up, you've already got the vehicle to do it. The scout vehicles can't do anything other than get to the area and have a look. Move this out of the way. A lot of sand and mountains. Okay, this should open up part of the map once we get this delivered. Just need to get over the fence line. Anchors. Okay. I wonder what it's trying to pick up then, to be fair. Well, the infrastructure request, so we've got three of the concrete slabs done already. Are we close enough actually here? I don't know if I'm going to be close enough for this. Actually, we should be okay. I think that's full extension though. That's the only problem. Yeah, it's full extension. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. We're not quite close enough. Right, this is a bit more of a risk. Anchors. I'm just going to go slightly more to the right. We shouldn't really do that while it's up in the air, to be fair. There we go. Now we're close enough. That is job done. Communication tower activated. Repaired and ready. Let's have a look what this gives us. I'm guessing we'll get some missions from this. Area revealed as well. Oh, okay, it didn't show us any missions, weirdly. So, area now revealed. Wow, that's actually revealed a lot. We've got the storage yard garage here. Ancient temple. Looks like there is stuff to do there as well. Ancient temple, nice. Abandoned get buildings, that's one you can destroy and get resources from. And then further south we've got the actual main mission, which is to repair the pumping station. We need to get there and see what it needs, but that's the main mission, although there's actually water here, look at that. Okay, that's interesting. So that's a building we destroyed. Did we gain any new missions? No. No new missions from opening that up. I swear I saw a yellow area show up as well. That's how I was seeing things. I swear I saw a yellow area. Yeah, there. There is a yellow area there. Actually showing up on the map? No. There is a yellow area. I think it's a road. I'm going to quickly go there in the Carillion, mainly because there's a bit of a bit here. There is a yellow bit there. I'm going to see what that is. I'm guessing it's another road. In all honesty. Yeah, there's another road. Okay, let's have a look. So, yeah, it is showing up now. So that road, wow, that's a long road. Takes us all the way to the abandoned building. At least we'll have the sand being laid by the AI. Although saying that, that's a long way to go. We go here. Okay, there is a quarry here supposedly for some of it. We'll have to put our scalper nearby as well, more than likely. But it is a road all the way to the abandoned building from here. Which also means, okay, we need a bridge here to join across here as well. Because otherwise you can't get there by the looks of things. So we need a bridge here, and then it will join our road here. I said there'd be more joining. So potentially we join... I bet there's a pipe there needs replacing. We'll take this road down here, and then we build a bridge here, and make the join. It's a big bridge, isn't it? There's not many trees around either, thinking about it. Because normally we just build a wooden bridge. We have got the concrete slabs, but I don't want to waste them. That's the only thing. But yeah, we are going to need a bridge there for that road, by the looks of things. There's trees lower down here. Okay. What bridges do we have access to? All of them. I did wonder. I'm just going to place the concrete. I'm curious to see how many bridges how many bits of concrete we need. If it's 6, then I wonder if that's exactly what that concrete is for. My only concern is we use the concrete now, and then we get a mission where we need it and we don't have access to it. That's my only concern. Right, we always do a wide bridge, although wide may be too much. Okay, we need 12 slabs, so even if we did this now, we couldn't do it. We don't have the slabs. What about trees? Even that, I think, is going to be tricky to get the right amount. I can't do trees. It's too long. Yeah, so we can't use a wooden bridge there because it's too far away. I've never seen that before where it won't let us make one, to be fair. Let's see if we go from this side. Yeah, no, we can't use it. It has to be a concrete, which means slabs or metal. I suppose metal would work as well, but obviously we don't have access to any at the minute. So this bridge will have to wait. Does metal work? No, metal doesn't work either. So it has to be a concrete bridge. And we only have 6 slabs. And I think that mission's complete, yeah. Oh, there's more than one road, hang on. So that's new. There's a road, oh wow, okay, so that road is coming out of, there's already a bridge there to be fair. But that's coming out of the main mission area. There's a road going all the way up here. Where does that stop? There, okay. So we knew there's going to be more roads. That's the one we've just seen. We've got connect electricity. That is for the main area. Oh, there's a bridge needed here as well. So for the main mission area, we need to get a bridge to actually access it, by the looks of things. That road leads, abandoned building, road there, yeah. So we need a bridge here. Which I'm guessing, if we do the... I always do wide because I like the space when we actually go across. So, okay, that's 7 slabs, 8 slabs, that's not enough. We've only got 6 concrete slabs at the minute, and we won't have any more for a while. What about wood? 8 logs, so wood is possible to save the concrete. And there are a few more trees around this area, to be fair. Mission-wise, though, we don't actually have any more missions other than get to there. So, my thinking is, if we base it on what we can see now and do now, we send... There's a few trees here on the way. If we get... I know the trees cut down here for logs, we can then build a bridge across there with the wood, and then get that first bit of the main story bit done, because that will then tell us what else is needed there. There's going to be a lot more exploring over this side. Cement works are over here, which will be for... Oh, that says cement works. There's an abandoned... That's not what I thought. There's an abandoned building and a gas station. So abandoned building will give us... okay, that's a good point, actually. We've got materials, haven't we? I still don't want to waste the concrete. But actually, we do have materials. From the building. We've got an abandoned building there. There is a slab there as well. Or a couple of slabs by the looks of it. So we could make the first bridge now. If we knock that building down as well, that would give us... I don't know how many it will give us. If we need 12 to get across the bridge here. That's 12 slabs. Was that 12? Let's have a look. I think it was. Okay, so that, so concrete's the only one that makes it across. That is 12 slabs. Currently we have 6, and whatever's in this pile over here. Can we see? So there's 2 there, that's 8. And then we've got an abandoned building over here. I don't think that will give us 12 though, to be honest. But then we haven't looked around to see if there's any laying around, that's the other thing. I think let's go and break this building over here, see what it gives us. If it gives us the slabs, we go and build the bridge. If it doesn't give us the slabs, then we do the wooden bridge instead. I think that's probably our best bet. So let's go and destroy the other building. Got to get this thing down there, don't we? I can fold crane. Oh, okay. Can't restore it because it's obstructed. So there's 2 slabs here anyway. Still want to have me fold crane. Fold demolition bolt. There we go. Up, up, up. I want to go up. Okay. I think it's nearly in starting position. I'm not going backwards. This thing is awkward to drive and find, and we need the unrusty version. That's a good point. So that's the rusty version of the Wrecking Ball. We haven't got the unrusty. Oh look, there's even a thing now in the shop for custom trucks. That's interesting. Still don't see the point of this. This is the Derry Longhorn, so a tractor unit essentially for carrying trailers. But we don't have any trailers that work like that. So I don't quite know what that's for at this point. What I was trying to find, I wonder if it comes under this. How much is the Wrecking Ball unrusty? Just because I want to own one of everything. We've also got the mobile crane. This is for... I don't know what that's for actually. It's the Forester Neo. Is that for forestry then? It's 53,000 credits to be fair. Lift weight is 30 ton, boom length 11 meters. It's a mobile crane. If we compare that, Trailblazer can lift 5 ton, 6 meter boom length, which is quite short. If we go to our big cranes, 40 ton, 21 meters. What was that one? 30 ton, 11. Okay. It could be quite useful to be fair. That's something we need to have a look at then and buy. Because we want one of every vehicle. We haven't used that crane. So when we need a crane, we're going to go and use the new one and see how good it is. I was actually looking to see. I don't know where it comes up in the shop. I wanted to see the Wrecking Ball, how much it is for the unrusty version. That's that. Yeah, we used the log forwarder on the last map to be fair. Where's the unrusty version of the Wrecking Ball? I'm sure there is one. There wasn't originally when they first released the DLC, but it was added in after. It's finding it. That's something silly. Every crane. Oh, there we go. Building 54,000. So we can buy the unrusty version, but to do so would bankrupt us in terms of not getting the new crane. I think the crane is probably better, mainly because we already have a version of this we can use. So we'll stick to the rusty version for the minute. We'll obviously buy both in due course. It's just going to take a bit of time. We don't generally sell anything either, otherwise we'd have a lot more money to be fair. Right, can we get round to it? Having issues getting this one actually to go where I want it to. Kind of want to go back to our road, don't we? There's the building down there we're going to go and destroy. and see if that gives us enough concrete slabs for the bridge, and if not, we'll go and do the wooden one, the main mission area. There are other places we can go up to. There's up that hill there, there's something up there to explore as well. We're going to get through there, we're not, are we? Okay, I think maybe we're better off going back towards the garage and go down the road there, maybe. Now turn. This thing is so awkward to drive. I think we've got a barrel underneath us as well. I'm not even worried about the wrecking to destroying, hitting anything, it's not going to damage it. But yeah, that road leading to the mission area, main story mission area, we'll do that when we have enough slabs. As I say, there may be some laying around that we've not seen yet. Come on, turn. This thing is so awkward. Got no oomph at all. Okay, the mission, the convoy mission has already been done. We've got all the rewards now. So if at some point it's in our way, we can cancel it. It won't affect anything. We'll keep it going for the time being though, just because it makes the area look alive, having other stuff going on. Although destroying this building may block the road. We don't quite know yet. So we need about 120,000 to get the new crane and the unrusty version of this. Alright, well, try to use the road for a minute, so this will be a bit quicker. Thing is, if there are other buildings to demolish, we're going to have to take this all the way there to do them. Which will take a while to get there, to be fair. It is not exactly quick. Okay, so it's this building on the left, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this building here we're going to destroy. Bit of demolition. So yeah, there's some big roads that need building by the looks of things. I can definitely see why Jake Man said he has more than one scalper. I think it would be useful. I didn't mean to hit it, but I think I just did. Okay. Maybe in the way of that truck, I don't know. Maybe we'll lower the crane, lower the boom a little bit. There we go. Can we get a swing? We should still be high enough to avoid the vehicles, hopefully. That was a big hit. Yeah, we're high enough to avoid the vehicles. Use some more speed. There we go. That should do it. That was a big hit. Close are we to destroying it? I'm nearly there, to be fair. Just trying to get the right swing. There we go. Building destroyed. Okay, what do we get? Two concrete slabs, I think, there. Okay, let's just put this back on its axles properly. Yeah, so 2 concrete slabs and some concrete to recycle towards what we need. So that gives us, what, 10 concrete slabs? And we need 12 for the bridge. So that's not quite enough, to be fair. Although saying that, isn't there another building to destroy on the way? Or is it up there? So yeah, 2 concrete slabs there. There's some big things to sell. I don't know what that is. But it's yellow. That means you can sell that. I don't know if there's any concrete slabs laying around, was my thinking. What's a yellow? Yellow is just for sale. We know there's 2 there. So we've got 10 slabs as it stands. Have you got any more buildings nearby to destroy? So this one there can be destroyed. It's a long way away though, in terms of us grabbing what we need from it. That would give us potentially the last 2 needed. But it's getting this demolition ball all the way there is not going to be simple. And I don't think we can really load it onto a loader either. I think that will take ages to get there, and will not be the easiest thing to do. I just realised there's another bridge here, but it's broken. So that bridge needs fixing there as well. And that takes us over here. Where's another bridge? That goes over there. Okay. There's quite a few bridges that are going to need fixing, I think. There is an abandoned building over here by the concrete works. And lots of concrete over here to recycle. Ah, there's some slabs there. I think they're slabs, to be fair. And at some point we'll need a convoy here, looking at that. Because that yellow door says convoy. Is that route usable now? Not where it is, but it's a big old cliff. Look at that route. Okay, this is the bit that's awkward is here. We'll need to move to clear that there to make that route usable. But I think there's 2 slabs sat in a train over there. It's making me wonder if we should head there and grab those. I don't really know what to do next. I think we do. I think we need to find another radio tower, ideally, because we need to open up more of the map and find more missions that way. I think is what we should do. If we quickly jump into here, what can we see nearby? Obviously, we've got the road that needs building. What can we see in the distance that we can just go and have a look at and see if that gives us new stuff? Bit of a drop there, isn't it? So there's a drop off there. There are buildings over here. Obviously, if we can find the concrete facility and get up and running, that'd be perfect. There's a garage or something there, by the looks of things. Looking for radio towers, essentially. Right, there's one to our left that's broken. We see that here. Okay, so no radio tower there. So I think the one we're seeing in the distance that looks really bent up is a new one. Let's see if we can get to that and see what that gives us. I think that will need fixing though, that's the only downside. Firstly, we need to find a way down. There's no way we can make that drop. I don't think we can get down from here, to be fair. Not easily, anyway. That's a long way down. That's obviously a riverbed, isn't it? I think that used to flow down there. Yeah, I don't think we can get down from that way. What about from this way? Obviously, there's a bridge there. And then a secondary bridge there that he's doing. Okay, potentially... still going to be awkward. Let's try and see if there's an actual way down. Maybe here. Potentially. Ah, actually, no, that's there. Look, there's a road. Although that's going to need a bridge. I bet that needs a bridge as well by the looks of things. Okay. Maybe we can get down there. That actually looks like it is doable. It just looks awkward from where we are. Let's give it a go. If we roll, we roll. It's not the end of the world. We'll try something else if we don't make it. That's okay. Roll again. There we go. We're down into the riverbed. Okay, we're in the riverbed now. So what I was looking for was the radio tower. So we now need to get out of the riverbed without being able to see too much. I think we can get up over there to the left-hand side. I think before we do anything else, I think we need to explore and just see where things are, see what else we can find. Because it looks like we're going to need a lot of bridges. Currently, we don't have the materials for. the more we open up, the easier it will be to then get the materials. Okay. So over there is the antenna we saw. Ah, we've got a new one here. New mission popped up. New side objective. What is that? Although I don't think we'll be able to do it yet, because getting here is not really easy. Deliver the convoy to the quarry. Okay. Where's it starting from? So this sand quarry to this sand quarry. We zoom out a bit. That sand quarry near our fob needs to go to there. Yeah, it's not happening anytime soon, is it? That's going to need a bridge and everything else to get there, to be fair. That'll be this bridge over here, by the looks of things. So that's going to take a time. Yeah, there's just not lots of, there's not much wood around though, and that like the wooden bridge won't reach. That's the only thing. So it's going to depend on where wooden bridges can reach. I think the wooden bridge would reach there though, to be fair. So there's a small bit there that needs doing, although we need to find some wood. There's none actually near to us. All the wood is over this way. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing that convoy anytime soon. Would be my first guess. The broken antenna over there, I think, would be handy to go and see now. Let's go there first. But I think you're right. I think some of the smaller bridges need to be wood. We're just going to have to go and chop a load of trees down that we can find and use those. That's that broken antenna there in the distance. I don't think we're a million miles away from. I think we'll have to fix it though, which we don't have the stuff for now. Should have just followed the road, to be fair. A small town there as well by the looks of things. Once we get going and kind of know where things are, things will be a lot simpler. There's a bridge here, which again I think probably would be the best thing. So this is that bridge there. Lots of trees down there, isn't that? That's the thing. So that's the bridge that connects over here. And that would give us another abandoned building there. And one over there as well. Plus the antenna we can see just up there. So I think we need to do that bridge shortly then. Let's head up. I know the road goes round. Let's just head up to the antenna. I think we need to start looking at bridges. This is another antenna, broken down one though. I know, I'm not trying to dig, I'm marching. Okay, so this antenna I don't think gave us anything. It counts as an abandoned building, so it can be destroyed. I wasn't expecting that, I thought that would be a proper building there. So that just gives us an abandoned building then. Okay. I was hoping that was more than that. What else have we got? There's obviously buildings down there as well. So, deciding what the next plan of attack is. Obviously I think this bridge here can be done. If we do the bridge there, we can then bring the dozer over. That will give us the concrete slabs needed to do this bridge, because the wood won't reach. Then we've got a whole road to do here. And that road will lead us to this abandoned building here and towards the main mission area where we need another bridge there. So I think that's what we do first. We've got an hour, we've got plenty of time. I think what we do is we fix this bridge first with wood. That gives us access to over here. So 6 logs needed there. Then we can send our dozer down here, destroy these 2, and any others that show up here. I think that's probably our best bet for this minute. And actually give us the slabs to do this bridge. Which will then lead us, and then we've got the road there to do as well. There is a sand quarry here we can activate as well for 10, which will give us, we'll still need the scalper for this area and over here, because what we'll do, we'll extend our road down to the bridge. I think that is our best option. There is a building up here as well, and it has a door which makes me wonder if that's going to be something at some point. Is there anything up there? Something to sell? Yeah, nothing major really. Thing is, we don't know if that's a ghost building, do we? Actually thinking about it. Let's quickly... I just want to quickly drive up there and see what that is, because to me that looks like that should be something. What vehicles, what's that? This is just a small dumper, I'm not worried about vehicle type. But I just want to go up there to where that building bit is and just see what it is. Because to me, that looks like that should be something up there. Whether it gives us resources or something else, or just gives us a mission to build something. Just want to see what it is. But yeah, I think we build a wooden bridge. There's wood here we can use. I think the wooden bridge is what we need to look for next. That's the big thing they've done with making you have to find missions yourself. Is you've then got to decide on what's the most important thing to do next. And sometimes, because you've got so much choice, that makes life a little bit harder. Especially if you then start being indecisive about it, which I generally am at times. Important decisions, I can make them quickly, efficiently, under pressure. But when it's things like this, I do kind of procrastinate and then can't make my mind on what the right thing to do is. Right, this may give us something, it may not. It just seems like it's something that should be there. Whether it gives us something we need to build, I'm not sure. But it does look like there's something should be something here. There we go. It looked like something. Heavy metal revival. Well, what do we have here? An abandoned metal beam plant that's seen better days. This heap of rusty machinery could be a ticket of progress. If you can restore it to working order, we'll have plenty of metal beams that should do wonders for a water infrastructure project. They will need some concrete slabs and logs to get operational again. Look around. I'm sure this parched landscape is hiding materials somewhere, probably under all that sand. Right, so that's given us a building to build. We need 6 slabs, which we already have, and 6 logs. I think we do this first, because potentially, although we know with the metal bridge won't reach across there, well, actually, that's the point. If we do this now, we have no slabs for anything else. That's the only problem, although we'll have metal beams. That's the quandary, isn't it? But we can get this up and running now. I think we do it now. I think it makes the most sense. In terms of trees, though, we're going to have to go a bit far and wide to get them, I think. I'm thinking if we can actually get the vehicle down there to cut the trees down here, to be fair. Obviously, there's one there. I think we can get down that slope. I think. All the trees seem to be in the valley. And obviously, we've got to get down there. And then we've got to get back up with the trees. That's the other thing. It's not just a case of going down into it. We've actually got to get back up. So these over here look more an easier way of doing it. But again, we need the bridge for that. Right. I think we want to get this still being slated done. I think that needs to be our next port of call, I think. There's also bridges over there. But what do we use? I think wood. Where are we going to get the trees from is the first question. I say there are trees over here. There's a couple of trees here as well. Just not a massive amount of them. So I think that's 2 trees there. It's whether we can get down here or not and get back up. I think it's doable. Okay, let's jump into the crayfish. And instead of messing around and not being indecisive, let's actually go and do it. So the crayfish is our tree cutter of choice. So let's jump in that. I don't think there's a new tree cutter that we haven't used. We have used all the DLC ones. Obviously got the tree crusher. Yeah, nothing new that we haven't used. Okay, cool. So we can follow our road down and then see if we can down. Do these trees... Ah, hang on. When I'm looking at trees, do these don't count. Yeah, none of these trees count as trees that can be cut down. Just looking at us, and there's trees right in front of us, but yeah, they don't count. Because there's lots of metal here that we can recycle, so the sooner we get the beam facility up and running, I think the better. It's just we need 6 logs to do so. But they're more palm trees. I wonder if that's why we can't use them, because they're palm trees. Yeah, the vehicle coming. Oh, actually, there is one can be done here. It's weird. I didn't know this one could be done. I just go on the map quickly and go off resources to resources. So these ones aren't showing up as cuttable under resources, but according to this, they are. So we can't fully trust the map then in terms of where resources are. Because this shows us one that can't be cut down. Interestingly, so we need to approach and scan these trees, see which ones can be used. Because it's a bit heavy for the vehicle, hence why it's messing around. But yeah, it's not telling us the full story of what can be used and what can't then. Okay, first log is that. Okay, they can't be used, that's fine. I'm now thinking the ones up there can be though. So we go back up and just scan up there and see if they can be used as well. We need 6 in total. So the closer they are to the fob, the better. The quicker we can get them here. There we go, this one can be cut down too. So the map doesn't show a true story of what can be used. I've never seen that before. Normally the map telling us what we can and can't grab resource wise has always been right. Oh, this will not go green. Why are we not going green? Interesting. Showed up on the scan but won't go green. This one can be... There we go. So these big ones can be cut down. I just find it really weird how the map doesn't show up properly for the first time. I don't know whether that's a glitch and they should show these. I don't know. It's definitely unusual. So that's 2 cut down. So I think we are going to use our concrete slabs that are in storage. I think we do want to use those to get this up and running. We have loose ones on the floor to be fair as well. Right, I want this tree here. I think we may have to come from this side. I think that's why it's not going green. So that will give us 3 logs so far. Can this one be cut down? I think it's be too small. No. Alright, can we get this to go green to allow us to cut it? That'd be no. Oh, there we go. There we go, we can do it now. I think we just need to be at the right angle, because it's leaning slightly. I think we just need to be at the right angle for it to do it. So we've got 2 logs here, 1 down there. Is that 3? I thought we had 4. I can't remember where our logs are now. 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 logs so far. Let's go and check them trees to the side out over there. Now we know the map is lying to us a little bit. We'll go and find out if these are cuttable as well. That small one there isn't. Or any of these over here. And there's ones further down there as well. No. By the looks of that. Yeah, none of those can be cut. Go and check these ones out over here. Well, now we know we can't trust the map fully. That's something we've got to remember. Okay, they can't be cut down either. Some trees down there though. Probably got the smartest move. We could have gone down the road down here, but we're okay. Right, I think these dead trees are just dead. I don't think they can be cut. There are some trees over here. So we need 3 more to get the metal boom facility up and running. Any of these? I thought they would have been, to be fair, but no, that's saying no. None of those can be cut. Okay, that's surprising. I thought at least one of them would be. Go and check these ones out over here. I think they may just be too thin. I think that's why it's not letting us do it. Then this one will be a no as well. Yeah. That's a no. There's a couple over here to have a look at. I think we are going to have to head down. I think we got the first 3, but I think I'm not seeing any other ones that we can actually cut nearby. Obviously, we'd have to sort that bridge out in due course as well. No to that one. And no to that one as well. Okay, I think that may be all the ones around there we can cut down then. Seems to be all the ones we can do. We've got already from here. Obviously, we know we can't fully trust the map when it comes to resources. Now, but we've got 3. I was hoping there'd be some more around here, save us driving too far, but I think we're gonna have to. Where's the nearest next place to go? That's the question. It does say there's one over here, which means there might be more over this way. It's getting down to there would be ideal, to be fair. There are some trees here. They all look really thin though, to be fair, so I don't think they're going to be usable either. Right, let's head back to the road and go towards the bridge area. We need 3 more to get the metal beam facility up and running. That's the aim at the minute. We are going to need a crane up there to open the path potentially as well to deliver all these. Unless, of course, we can get round it. But we have 3 out of the 6 that are needed. Pretty sure it's just the 1 there that can be done. It's just really weird how they didn't show up on the map that it could be chopped down. I've not really had that before where it's not told us. Okay, what about these 2 over here? No, not those 2 either. I think they have to be a certain thickness. I think that's the big thing. And currently a lot of these are too thin. Okay, there's another one over here to have a look at. Although I may potentially get hit by the vehicle coming this way. Can any of these be chopped? So that one there looks really thick, so potentially that could be number 4. Potentially. Yes, one of them can. I need to be off the road though, ideally. Okay, so that's number 4. We'll have to come and collect all these in due course. We need 2 more. Because even then, if we make a small metal bridge to some of these other bits bridges that need doing, it'll be a lot easier than getting wood, to be fair. Right, the other ones, no. To the others. There are some bigger trees over that way as well. Let's go and see if any of them are usable. We need 2 more, potentially, to get it up and running. You don't have to try and get into the valley for the trees. That would be very advantageous. I think this will be one here, judging by the thickness of it. No? Yeah, it can. There we go. So we can kind of judge it by thickness, I think. So that's number 5. I think that one's too thin. The one over there, maybe. Okay, let's go and have a look at this one over here. I think there's a potential for it. We need 1 more. No, I think that's too thin, isn't it? I think all of them are too thin, to be fair. Round that way. But we'll have a scan and just see. Potentially we just need 1 more. And then that's all the wood needed for the beams. Any of those? Be a no. All too thin, aren't they? Okay, what do we got thickness wise? Oh, it definitely makes you work for everything. I do like that. I don't like being given everything, so it is good in that way. You've just got to be more decisive on what you choose to do, and I'm not being that today for some reason. I'm being more indecisive than I would like. Okay, too thin, too thin. We're looking for thick trees. We need 1 more. They're all way too thin. Yeah, not usable. What do we got over this way? There's some trees over there I think will be usable. We're still going to need the concrete slabs for that bridge, so I can't. The other ones don't fit. They don't go that distance. So I think that bridge has to be concrete. Are any of these usable? That'll be a no. One of these must be. Yes, that one there. Okay, that's the final log needed, so we can come and grab these now and take these up. It's going to fall, isn't it? So we'll grab a forester to come and grab all the logs we've just done, and that's the 6th then done. And then we can load up the slabs. We might as well take the slabs that aren't in storage as well over storage ones, because if we get another fob we can send them across easier. So we need a forester. And we need one we've not really used. Which is the DLC? We have used the DLC one, I'm pretty sure. But which one was it? That's tree harvester. That's rubbish. That's a log forwarder. That's the one we want to use. The Amatsu Forester Neo. Matsu Forester Neo. That's the DLC one. There it is. Let's use that as it's one of the newer. It's the new DLC vehicles. I think we have used it before. It was okay. I think it had its issues, but I think we got on with it okay in the end. Although I think we only used it by one mission or one thing on the previous map, to be fair. Because by the time this released, we'd already done quite a lot of the previous map. Right, we've got 2 logs here we can pick up. Okay, let's grab this one over here first. I'm hoping we're close enough. I don't know how far this actually goes out. That is a big log. And a heavy one, looking at that. Even the actual crane is struggling with it. Okay. And the only issue I ever have with log forwarders is actually loading them. This is going to stick out the back a long way. That is a big log. Right, first log in. The one over here to grab. Yeah, that sticks out quite a way, that one. What we'll do, we'll move this closer and re-grab it in a second. Let's just move it towards us. I think there's going to be 2 really big logs immediately, isn't it? Rolling away. Yeah, they are heavy and quite big. I wonder if that's why they weren't showing up on the map, because of how heavy they are. It's not even liking to lift it, to be fair. I'm trying to lift it up. It really doesn't like lifting it. I wonder, I've never actually looked, but I wonder if cranes on forestry vehicles have a weight limit. No, they don't. I just wondered whether there was a certain amount of weight they can actually pick up. That one does. It's 2 ton. This one doesn't. Only reason being, they're struggling to pick them logs up. Lift weight 1 ton. So the Forester Neo doesn't have a weight limit, whereas the others do. They're all 1 ton. Yeah. They're all 1 ton, bar the Forester Neo, which doesn't have one. Weirdly. You'd think they'd all have a weight limit, but for some reason that doesn't. But it is struggling to pick these up. Okay, I think we can't use this vehicle for these logs. Them ones especially, they're too big. So what I'm thinking is we want a big crane and just a flatbed that can carry them. Because they're obviously more than a ton. I'm guessing everything can carry the same. So let's use the new crane we haven't even bought yet. So we'll buy that now. The mobile crane here. 53,000, boom length of 11 meters and a lift weight of 30 ton. We'll use this to lift the logs, and then we'll put something else to put them in. At least then we own the vehicle. And I think then it's just, the only thing we don't own then will be the unrusty version of the demolition ball. I'm just going to double check that, so we know what we need. We own all of those. They're all owned. Fire truck blade, yes. Scout. Okay, yeah, the demolisher, we need that, as that's the non-rusty version. That's fine. Is everything else? I don't. Maybe the SAR truck. Maybe we don't own. All of those. All of those. We even own the fuel truck. We just don't use it because there's no reason for it. I think that is everything. Yeah. So we do own every vehicle now, bar the unrusty version of the demolition ball. Right, so let's use the new crane we just brought. I forgot what it was called, to be fair. Where is it? It's that one. The Aramatsu Forester New. That and the Forester vehicle we were just in have got the same name. That's why I didn't realise that was what we needed. So let's go and see how this works. Straight away with tracks, you know it's going to be a little bit slower than others. But it should be able to lift the logs, and we'll get a vehicle out to put the logs in a second. Normally, I wouldn't like to use two vehicles for the same thing, but with this we haven't got much choice. Because obviously the Forester vehicle can't lift them. We might find that with some of these logs. Right, anchors. I will say, straight away, this looks quite cool. As a crane to use, I like the fact it's on the back like that, to be fair. Right, we need a vehicle that can carry the logs. Where after? The Alcez C400. It doesn't need to unload them, it just needs to carry them. Carry 8 ton. Trailblazer can carry 5 ton. We'll take the Alcez. Doesn't have a crane, but he doesn't need one. I just wanted it long enough for the logs to go in the back, which is longer than the mule, the Voron, and the Trailblazer, so it should have the length we need. Before that comes and smashes into us. So we'll have to have a look at the other logs and see if we need a separate crane to grab them, or we can use the Forester. It's going to be dependent on what they look like. Are they these thicker logs? And if so, then we are going to need to use a separate crane. Right, how does the new crane do them? It's got decent reach, to be fair. Obviously we didn't park the closest to it, in all honesty. But that's its full width, isn't it? Okay, I need to get the vehicle closer. I can't lay it in the back of the vehicle because we're not close enough to the crane. There we go. Right, we should be able to lay this in properly. We need to lay it in so we can strap it down, obviously. But yeah, as a new crane, not too bad. Obviously it's not a heavy crane, it's not designed to do the grunt work that the heavy cranes do. But all in all, actually, it's quite a nice crane to control as well. And lifted that big tree without any effort compared to the Forester vehicle that couldn't lift it. Right, how do we do with this one? Yeah, so I think the Forester is the same as the other ones, although it doesn't give you a weight you can lift. I think it is 1 ton, the same as all the other vehicles. It would make the most sense. It would be unusual to have a different weight to it, but it can't lift these really thick logs. It's a shame you can't cut these in 2 and say it's 2 logs instead of 1. To be fair. Move it slightly this way. There we go. The Alcez has got 2 logs in the back. What we need to do is think about what else we still need log wise. Are they small or big logs? This one down here, I think, potentially is another big log, isn't it? Let's drive this down there. We'll assess it with this if we do need to use this to lift it, or we can use just the Forester. Although we may just drive 2 vehicles now. Normally we'd use only one. Oh, it's another big one, because it saves a lot massive amount of time instead of having 2 vehicles all the time. But actually, we haven't got much choice here. Right, the Alcez. Strap our cargo down. Drive down there to meet the crane. I do like the Alcez as a vehicle. If it had a crane itself, it would be a little bit better. But all in all, it actually handles itself pretty well. We have used it a fair bit in the past. when you don't necessarily need a crane at the unloading point. I generally use this, to be fair. Right, let's swap to the crane. I'm hoping we won't get hit there. Now obviously we kind of want to, in future, I think we need to think about this. I didn't think about it just now. We don't want to go towards things that we want to pick up by the front end. We really want to do it reverse up to them, because otherwise we're not using our full extension. That's the thing we've got to think about in future. This one's not as long as the other two, to be fair. There we go, in the middle it goes. Okay, where was the next ones we chopped down is the next question. So that's 3. There was none over this way, was there? Can't remember where we chopped the logs down now. Not up there. Okay, one there. That's another big one, I think, as well. One is there, and then one is down here. Yeah. Okay, I think we use the crane and the LSES combo to do all of these. That's my thinking. I got the wrong camera there. Mainly because they're already doing what we want them to do anyway. So instead of using the Forester, we'll use the new crane and the LSES instead. Yes, it means driving 2 vehicles, but we haven't got a choice because of the weight of the logs anyway, really. Right, so our next one we need to go towards is just down here. Follow the road, and it is just near the next lot of buildings. Obviously, we can go on the road, but we need to be careful not to get hit by the convoy. I don't want to stop the convoy yet, but actually it may become more advantageous to stop it, to be fair. Downside to this, obviously, this new crane is the tracks make it really slow compared to other cranes. It's a lot slower to get anywhere. I'm going to hit the vehicle. I may just avoid it. Where was our log in relation? It was, oh, just round the corner to the left. Because when I said earlier we may have to stop the convoy once we've got all the rewards, that's why. Because it will just hit us if we're not careful. Right, there's the log there. Okay, we need to jump back into the LSES, get it down here as well. Again, we've got to be careful with the convoy. We should be able to carry all 6, I think. We'll soon notice we can't, because it will struggle to go anywhere. I like having the map feel alive, but it is annoying having people move out the way of the AI every time. Right, this is the one we're going to. Try and go next to the crane so we can just load it straight in that way. There we go. Right, unstrap, let's swap. Anchors, crane. Basically, the log is the other side of the LSED, so a nice and easy one to put in, hopefully. Yeah, so these thicker trees, they're basically palm trees, aren't they? Normal foresters don't seem able to lift them. Which is that's the first, to be fair. We've not had that issue before. But interesting that these ones can't be lifted. Thing is, there's no measurement of weight. Everything has a weight to it, hence why vehicles tell you what they can lift. There's no way of measuring that yourself, if that makes sense. You just kind of got to guess by how something looks sometimes, whether or not it can be done that way. Why will we not restore? Okay. Space obstructed. Right, we'll restore the crane in a second. Let's just get out of this area. Work out where the next one is. There we go. Right, so our next log we need to load up is one there. There was one before that one. Oh, it's over here by the vehicles at the junction. Let's go over there, get that loaded. We've got 2 more to do, and then that's the logs loaded, and we can deliver them to the metal beam facility, and then we can get the concrete slabs loaded as well, and they'll be next. And we'll have a look and see what the road's like getting up there, because we kind of diverted off the road a little bit. Got a feeling we're going to need to move a load of rocks out of the way. Okay. The swap to the L says this is why generally you use one vehicle to do this, because to keep swapping different vehicles and things is annoying. But as we saw, we can't use the forester, so 2 vehicles are required. We probably could lift these with a mule, to be fair. Whether we'd be able to carry them all, I don't know, because it probably would be too much weight in the mule. The mule and the Voron, the go-tos that we use a lot of the time for everything, they can only lift 5. They can only carry 5 ton. Which is the equivalent of roughly, I think it's 5 concrete slabs before we really struggled. We have managed to take 5 before, but it hasn't been easy to do. So it makes me think that one slab is essentially 1 ton, based off that logic. Whether that's correct, accurate or not, I don't know, but that's the way it seems, based on what we've managed to carry in the back of them previously. Right, number 5. We've got 20 minutes left, so I'd like to get this up and running if we can. I'm liking the crane. It's a little bit fiddly, it's quite nice. It's obviously not a heavy crane, but it does its job. It works really nicely, to be fair. Okay, one more log, and that one is by the bridge that we intend to build in the future. Camera. So we need to be heading down this way. Obviously we're going to need a road here as well at some point to connect to that road we built earlier. We need to think about where else we can get trees from. There's obviously smaller bridges we can do. I don't want to waste metal beams generally if we don't have to on bridges, although I suppose it'd make life a little bit easier than trees. Thing is, there won't be an unlimited supply of metal, so at some point we will run out of metal laying around. So I don't quite want to waste it with metal beams going on bridges if we've better uses for it. That's the thing. Okay, that's one we're after. This tree couldn't be cut down, so we can hit that. Okay, bring the L-Says across, and then we've got to go up the mountain to deliver these. At least then we would have achieved more than just one mission today. So far I've managed to do the road. I've opened up some more of the map obviously, but we haven't really achieved a massive amount mission-wise. I think we started on 7% this morning. I don't think that percentage is going to change too much. But getting the metal beam facilities off running would make a big difference, I think. But yeah, this map so far has definitely been the one to make us work for everything. More so than other maps we've been to. And that's a good thing. Anything that challenges you to think outside the box and work out a way of doing something, I think is better. Right, let's get this one loaded. I'm not sure if I need to move the L-Says a bit closer. This one's quite a thin one. Out of all the logs we've picked up, this is the thinnest one out of all. And even picking up the crane, it moves so much easier. Compare it to the ones that are there. Burying the bigger ones were worth more than just a single log. So that, unfortunately they're not. Don't fall off. That's what I didn't want to happen. Right, well, that will stay there. So we just need to pick the one up that fell off now. There we go. Put it back in the middle. Okay, the house says is loaded. Got the cargo, that is our 6 logs. So, to get up to where we need to deliver them, there is a road. Not that road though, that leads somewhere else. The road to get up there is this one here, where the dozer is the start of the road. But there is a lot of rocky areas to be wary of. From where we are now though, I wonder if we can just go straight up. You can see where we veered off, to be fair. We're currently here. I wonder if we can just go straight up the hill. Let's find out. It's all going to depend on how bad the weight is. But it does look doable, that climb. If we start obviously not being able to go any further up, then we'll have to go the roadway, but not. We can probably skip the bit that's really full of rocks and just go straight up. Let's see how much muscle the L says has. All these big logs in the back. That is a climb and a half, I'll give you that. I won't put low gear on yet, we'll see how it does without it. In fact, the road is here. I was just trying to avoid the rocky bits of the road, and I think we've avoided it. That was actually really easy. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. This is open straight up, no questions asked. Okay, nice and simple. Well, these are the 6 logs needed. And then we've just got to bring the concrete slabs as well. We need 2 out of storage and the 4 from the buildings we've damaged, we've destroyed. So, we need to put this over here. I don't think we need to unload them, they just need to be in the area. Is normally the case. Oh, it will take them in fact, there we go. Nice and simple. Let's move this out of the way. Do we drive this back down? To be fair, because it's going to take them automatically, although we're going to move a crane, we're going to take a crane as well, don't we? I think instead we'll just grab the mule or the Voron and do it that way. Rather than driving 2 vehicles again. Trailblazer's already out. We jump in the Voron will do. Yeah, Voron will do. We've used this many a time for taking stuff everywhere. Where are you? Okay, we do need 2 out of storage, and the other 4 we can pick up from the buildings. The storage is over here. So we want 2 of the concrete slabs, and we'll load those up now. And then the other 4 we'll pick up. I take it, is there a mission for this? It's bugging me that I can't see it. No. It's alright, we know how many we need, it's just I'd like to be able to see it. Normally we only carry 5 as a maximum, because it does get too heavy, but we'll try and do all 6. Save 2 journeys essentially. I think these weigh a ton each, and we should be able to carry, I think it's 5 ton, isn't it actually? I don't know how doable 6 would be. We must have risked it at some point. I think we would have done. Okay, that's 2. Obviously we need to lay these properly because we need to get 6 in total. Right, there we go. So the next 2 are going to be at the first building we destroyed, which is slightly up the hill. And then the bottom 2 are further down. Bottom 2? The other 2 are further down. Right, watch out for the vehicle coming this way. But yeah, pretty happy with the new crane. Obviously, there's going to be times it's not going to be useful. Heavy crane is going to be easier. It's quicker to drive a heavy crane. But there's something quite small that need to lift small amounts. It's not bad. It has a use at least. Unlike the other vehicle that we can't use. We must get a trailer at some point that we can do something with. Otherwise, what's the point in the tractor unit that you actually can't do anything with? There we go, top one there. So number 3 of the 6 needed. Trying to make sure it sits a bit flat really. So normally we carry 5 as a max, but we are going to try the 6. Which means we can't really mess around with the actual loading, we've got to make sure it's accurate. Right, it's number 3. So we then need to climb the hill, which obviously, if overloaded, will be tricky. Right, let's get this level. Just on the lip, isn't it? Move too much. I'm trying to be accurate with the loading because obviously we're going to be overloaded. I don't want it too much on one side where going up a hill it's going to be a case of we potentially could roll over. Well, I think that's okay. I can tell we're loaded heavily now and that's only 4. So 6 could be interesting. Just saves us doing it in 2 loads. If we find that 5 is the max, we'll come back to the final one. But I'm hoping we don't have to. So the other building is where the dozer is. The dozer? The wrecking ball. And then that's the final 2 we need. And then that'll be the beam facility up and running. It's knowing what resource we've got more of that we can utilise. So I wonder if metal for smaller bridges is more useful than trying to get some of this wood. Lots of concrete here that can be recycled. We don't have the concrete facility yet. Okay, number 5. Already you can feel the weight on the back when you're trying to drive and move. Okay, that's number 5. Number 6. This may be a bad decision, trying to do 6 in one go. I'm sure we've done it in the past. I'm sure we've kind of pushed it beyond what we should have done. It just saves 2 journeys. Right, do you want to be level though, just to avoid any chance of rolling because they're overloaded. I think that's okay. Okay, why can you not fold crane first? Now can you? It won't strap. Can't secure cargo. Okay, maybe it is too much. It won't allow us to secure the cargo, which is unusual. Why is that? None of them are in awkward positions really. I think it is. Is it just too tall then? We've taken 5 before, so I know 5 is fine. Doesn't look like it's that awkward position or anything. Let's try and move this one a little bit towards us. The only thing I can think is the height. Yeah, it won't strap in no matter what I try and do. That's weird. Maybe we haven't pushed it beyond 5 previously. Can we move this to the side? I've got an idea. This may not work. I haven't got anchors on. Right. Will you secure cargo now? No. That's weird. So it won't even secure 5. I don't know why. Okay, we have to do 2 loads I think. It won't take 5. We've definitely taken 5 previously. I'm sure we have. Can't secure cargo. What is going on with this? Okay. Still can't. Something's not working because I can't secure cargo. So it's not the amount, there is an issue here. For some reason, we can't secure cargo. Yeah. Something's, I don't know if it's glitched or what, but for some reason I can't secure the cargo on the back. If that's the case then it's not a weight issue. I'm just going to put the other 2 on the back and see what we can do. We'll risk it without strapping them. There's enough weight hopefully to hold them in position. Seems a bit weird though, they won't strap down. Because we strapped them down with 4 to come to these 2 to pick up, so there's obviously something not quite working right. So if we can get these on fairly level, we'll ignore the strapping, hope the weight keeps them in place. But maybe you can strap 6 when it's working correctly. I'm sure we must have gone above the limit at some point. We normally do try and push it and then regret it later maybe. Right. We're just going to hope the weight itself holds these in place. Or actually, what I might do, thinking about it, is just put that down a second. Bring this right down, flat over the top of them. There we go, and hold them in place like that. It may not work, but if it won't allow us to strap them, then let's see if that works. Okay, so we need to go up the hill. There is a road here, but then we'll avoid the rocks in this area. Let's see if we can get up there. We definitely, you can see how overloaded we are. The front tyres are becoming slightly off the ground. So 5 is generally the limit. 6 is definitely over that limit. But the strapping, I don't know what the issue with that is. Okay, let's see if we can do this. If we fall over, it's going to be annoying. Okay. Obviously we're trying to avoid the rocks. Driving over them would not be good. So I'm taking a little bit easy. Because rolling is a potential issue. If I could actually, I think, go down and come up the other side. Can. So this is what we did previously with the Carolean. Is come round the rocks there and come up this edge here. It's the lean that worries me. Come on, find the grip. It's too heavy. Can't get up that gradient. Okay, let's reverse a little bit. Come on, just find the grip. We haven't got far to go. Yeah, we're definitely overloaded. I've got low gear on to see if that helps. Can't get up there. No! Just cannot get the grip to get up that way. Let's try going straight up this side. There's the road we need to join to just there. Low gear's on as well. I can just get over this edge. We're there. Can't. No. Okay, we need something that's not quite steep maybe. I'll take low gear off. I'm going to try and run up. Without low gear I'm struggling to even get up the side there. It's amazing that one extra slab making all that difference. Okay, what we could do is dump one slab off and come back for it. That's the thing we can do. We dump a slab off onto the road over here, and we'll deliver the first 5 and come back for this one. Otherwise we won't get up here at all. Okay. Will it now let us strap the cargo? We can now strap the cargo. For some reason, it's now working again. Okay, can we now get up the hill and come back for that one? We are rapidly running out of time for today as well, so we want to get this bit done if we can. Still not happy, is it? We can normally do... Still can't get up there, even with 5. I'm sure we've carried 5 previously. I'm really surprised by that. I just had a thought though that I hadn't thought about till just now. We anchor down, unstrap. One's going to fall off. That was my. I didn't. Yeah, okay. I was hoping that wouldn't do that. We've got a scout vehicle at the top. No, we haven't, have we? We haven't got a scout vehicle at the top. I just thought for a second we could tow ourselves up, but we haven't got a scout vehicle up there. Right, what we're going to do is take another one off. No, wrong button. Over that. It wasn't what I wanted to do at all. I was going to see if we take 4 up, come back for the other 2. This has turned into more of a nightmare than I would have hoped. I thought this would have been really simple. It's turned into more of a problem than I expected. The slope is really not helping, is it? Right. We'll leave 3 behind, take 3 up and come back for the final 3. Maybe it's not the weight that's the problem, because it won't even go up there now. Maybe it's just the gradient is too steep. So I'm surprised by. I'm sure we've got steeper gradients. There we go. Okay, we'll deliver 3 and then come back for the other 3. That should have been a lot easier than it was. I'm sure we've well, no, it's quite steep to be fair, and also the surface. It's not just a gradient we've got to think about, is it? It's that it's sand. It's not mud. Mud you'll stick into more, probably get more traction from because it's mud. Whereas this is sandy, so it's going to move around a lot more. So your traction, no matter what you're trying to do, is going to be a lot less. So maybe that's the issue. It's the gradient plus the surface that we hadn't taken into account. Is why we struggled up there with 6 and with 5, to be fair. So we had to do this 2 parts accidentally, to be fair. So that's the first 3 delivered. We'll go and grab the other 3 again, and then get those delivered, and we're going to be out of time after that. We're out of time now, but I want to get this finished. Because of our messing around and not really getting it done, we'll extend the stream a little bit just to get this final bit done. And that'll be the steel beam facility up and running. There's lots more to do on this map. There's lots more to discover, I'm sure. It's not as simple as some of the other ones. There's a lot more you've got to figure out for yourself and work out the best way of doing it. Resources are a lot scarcer, it seems, as well, especially when it comes to wood. So we've got to think about that when we're making decisions on bridges and things. Think about the resources, where we can get them from, because they do seem to be quite scarce compared to normal. Right, just around this corner is the 3 slabs we left behind. Just quickly grab those. We need to clear this road of all them rocks at some point as well, just to make this journey up here easier for recycling metal. Can I reach the other 2 from there is the question. No. Okay. No point being there if we can't reach the other 2. Not the best angle to be at, but we should be okay. Right, 3 of these loaded, get them up the top, and then that's us done for today. But yeah, things have taken longer than I would have hoped. There's been a bit of exploring. We've opened up the map a bit more at least. We've completed the road building, the big main road building, plus the convoy. We've found a second antenna and delivered what that needed as well. And in a second, we'll have unlocked the steel beam facility. So actually, although it doesn't feel like we've done a lot, we have. It just took quite a long time to build the road. So, not really the way I would have wanted it. As long as it straps down, it's fine. Right, last one to load in, and then we can get these delivered. And that'll be the job done. We started it down to 7%. So it'll be interesting to see what percentage we're actually at in a second. Okay, can that strap? Yes. Crane, anchors, handbrake, camera. Right, need to be careful not to roll this here. Be the way to finish the stream, whenever I'm rolling it. Okay, let's get this delivered, get this unlocked, and then we are out of time. There's still so much more to do here though. It doesn't, when you look at how many missions it says there is to do on a level, on a map, it doesn't seem that much, but then it's everything else that goes towards completing that takes the time. But the big thing we need is more concrete slabs, I think, for the big bridge, because we can't do that with metal or wood. Also, that has to be slabs, so we need a way, we need to find the concrete slab facility. Because we can see those are concrete needs recycling, but we can't do anything with it for the minute. That's the only thing. But steel beam facility is now up and running in a second. Did that a little bit quickly, didn't I? There we go, steel beam production. Plant restored and ready for work. Now we can make metal bridges with steel beams. That is that complete. Obviously that will become really handy. We need to get rid of the rocks that are blocking the road that goes up here. I don't think we need to build a road to get up here. I think once them rocks are out of the way and we stop trying to go up from the side, I think it'll be doable. I've got a feeling at some point there'll be a convoy here, because that has a yellow door. And yellow doors normally mean convoy. But there is a road that leads out this way, which also leads back to where this bridge needs fixing as well. Does that lead anywhere else? Potentially it leads down to trees. There is something there as well. There's an empty something. That potentially could be one of the toys actually that's collectible on this level. There's something there, but that does lead down to the trees there. So maybe that's the way in to get a lot of these trees, to be fair. That's something we need to look at next time. Mission-wise, Convoy to the quarry we need to have a look at, but that's going to take a while before that's ready because we need access and we need lots of stuff done before that. And obviously the main mission, we haven't quite made it there yet due to bridges and things. We've opened up a bit more of the map, more of the left-hand side, which we didn't have before. Right, let's have a look what percentage we're at as we are now out of time. As I say, it didn't feel like we achieved a massive amount, but we did if you look at what we've done, I think. I don't know, the percentage may say otherwise in a second. Once it gets us there. I never use transports for, well, we do use transports for road building stuff, to be fair. It's just not needed that much. So we're at 22%. Wow, okay, that jumped. 7% we started at. We completed 2 of 15 infrastructure and 6 of 26 side objectives. So actually we finished 4 side objectives and 2 infrastructure requests. I think that's what it was. And lots more of the map is opened up. So we're getting there. 22% when we started on 7 isn't too bad, to be fair. Massive thank you guys for joining us. We are back tomorrow morning with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. We continue Henry's story. Hopefully get to the wedding tomorrow. That is the aim. But that is it for RoadCraft and the Reclaim DLC this week. We're back in RoadCraft next week. Check out the schedule on Sunday for what is happening next week as well. And a massive thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the views, and the conversation. We're back tomorrow morning with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 next week for RoadCraft. Until then, enjoy your week, and we'll see you on the live stream very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.